Your healthcare, your way. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. TFNB, your bank for life. The official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Tip-off is just moments away. Now, back to the voice of Baylor women's basketball, Derek Smith.
March Madness is officially upon us as Baylor begins NCAA tournament play today in Durham, North Carolina. Baylor begins the postseason with a 24-8 record, a number 21 national ranking, and a number 6 national seed, taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nebraska, an 11 seed. They finished the year 19-12. It's the Bears and the Big Ten foe, a former Big 12 opponent, Nebraska, today from Cameron Indoor Stadium on the campus of Duke University. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. Alongside Lori Fogelman, I'm Derek Smith. Van Goodall, our producer at our studios in Waco. We are coming to you from high atop historic Cameron Indoor Stadium, where just about 30 minutes from now, Baylor and Nebraska will tangle. And Lori, here we are. It is truly win or go home. This is what you play for all year long. And for the Bears, after a 2-week hiatus between games, they're looking to kind of refine the form that had them playing some of their best basketball. That's what they need each and every game here, however long this tournament run goes.
Yeah, I think Baylor in the middle of the Big 12 season was on a roll. I think they rolled off 8 straight wins and were playing so well. And then you just hit some turbulence, if you will, and a first appearance exit from the Big 12 tournament. With Baylor losing 3 out of its last 5 games. But when you do get to the postseason, Derek, everybody is 0-0. Even Nebraska is still 0-0, even though they won a game to get into this first round. But it's all about everyone is at the same place, and it's all about surviving and advancing. Whether you win by 25 or you win by 1 point, it's all the same. You just want to be able to play well, to be able to move on into that second round.
Lori, this is a matchup of, in some ways, strength against strength. Nebraska is a good offensive team. In fact, you look at their numbers, 48% shooting almost as a team. That is number 11 nationally. Meanwhile, the Bears' defense has been their calling card. Baylor top 25 in the nation in opposing field goal defense. They lead the Big 12 and are top 5 in the country in blocked shots and are number 5 in three-point shooting defense. Baylor's got it done inside. They've got it done at the perimeter, but they weren't quite as sharp those last couple of games. Baylor finished the regular season 3-4. They would all acknowledge they were not at their best in those games against TCU and Colorado. If they could step it back up, I like the fact that that's Colorado's strength, because I think that plays into Baylor's hands if the Bears can play the kind of basketball that we saw them play throughout, really in particular, the months of December, January, and into mid-February.
Yeah, absolutely, when that three-point shooting defense was just absolutely on point. You look at Nebraska, they're coming off a game where they shot 11 of 22 from beyond the arc, and you can do the math very simply on that one. That was half their shots, and that's what allowed them to really separate in that third quarter, in that play-in game. Baylor's defense, it's all about rising up. It's all about disrupting space and timing. And as Coach Nicky was telling them, it's all about being an athlete today. Let your athleticism rise to a high level today and see what they can do here in this first round game of March Madness, the NCAA tournament here in Durham, North Carolina.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers are on the floor here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Baylor has just made its way out of the locker room. We will begin this game in approximately 30 minutes, nationally televised on ESPN, but we're glad to have you with us here on the Baylor Sports Media Network and on our next link, Courtside, Cam, coming to you from the Crow's Nest here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. We'll talk about that more a little bit later on. But, Laura, you talked about the team's athleticism. One player who has always brought energy to this team is Markayla Johnson. Even when her performance was up and down, she brings athleticism, energy, and she's been a key player who came on strong at the end of the year. But we're about to hear the thoughts of head coach Nicky Collin on Markayla, this short comment now, because we got the unfortunate news Markayla Johnson tore her ACL in practice. She is done for the season, and I know it's hard for her. She's always dreamed of playing in the NCAA tournament. I mean, we saw her in practice, Lori. I think she was fighting back the emotions just in practice. She'd been playing her best basketball the last couple of weeks of the season, and you really hate that for her, but she's got to find ways to contribute whether she's out there on the floor or not.
Yeah, and she's already attacking the work that she will need to come back from an injury. But oh, bless her heart, you could just tell the emotions are really strong. But you know what? Her teammates have just surrounded her and have loved on her and supported her. And she's going to be on the sideline today, and she is going to be cheering on her team to the very best of her ability, because they are all one right now. They are a team. Baylor women's basketball, they love Markayla, and she loves her teammates.
Well, we heard from Coach Nikki in this comment here before the game, and she said, you really just hate to see it. This injury was a case of a player giving her all in practice, as we hear from Coach Nikki.
Yeah, I mean, it's just simple, fundamental drill, working on our defense and plan it, and that's usually what happens in these situations. And someone who was playing well down the stretch for us, really building her confidence, and who's never had an injury in her life, So I think her spirits have been good, and then you come on the road and she's in an environment that she's dreamed about playing in since she was a little girl picking the ball up. So I think it's definitely hit hard in this scenario, but she's certainly surrounded by teammates who love her, staff who loves her, and we know if there's a kid on our team, not unlike Jana, that is going to do the work to get back because of how much they love the game and their teammates. Like she's going to knock rehab out of the park. It's not always going to be easy, and it's going to be new, but she's going to become more resilient as a result.
That is Bears head coach Nikki Collin commenting on Markayla Johnson, lost for the year with a torn ACL. And a little bit later on, Lori, in our player interview, we're going to hear from Jana Van Geitenbeek. Of course, Jana herself dealt with this last year, first game of the season. She tears her ACL, and I know Jana's really been providing good support to her as a great teammate, but you just hate to see that for them. We know all the work they put in to get to this point, and we know all the work it takes to come back from that. And Markayla has a long road ahead of her, but she's going to do what she needs to do to get back.
Yeah, what we love today, and a real microcosm of the love this team has for each other. They always have that half-court drill at the end of practice, and Jana was the first one to go today, and she was nothing but net on half-court shot. And the first thing she did was fly over to Markayla Johnson, who was in the stands just doing some stretching exercises, and we saw that trademark smile come from Markayla, and the entire team followed Jana over there. So they're going to be right behind her as well, and loving on her and supporting her as best they can during that rehab period.
This is Conecuh Sausage Countdown to Tip Off. Conecuh Sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, their patented blend of seasonings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true hickory smoked southern flavor. Conecuh Sausage is always great on the grill and perfect for tailgating. Pick up a pack and enjoy your family's favorite recipes at any meal of the day. Conecuh Sausage, a game day tradition, and the official smoked sausage of the Baylor Bears. Well, I mentioned Jana Van Geitenbeek. She finished the regular season in the top 12 in the nation in assists per game. She's a key piece for this team, playing in her 6th NCAA tournament. We will hear from her when we come back as we get you ready for Baylor and Nebraska in the first round of March Madness on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back.
I was just watching.
And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. No reputable company or government agency will ever ask you to pay them with gift cards, Bitcoin, or a person-to-person payment app. Scammers use these options because the money can't be traced. Just don't do it.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
She's just got a good time.
Have you been to the new location of Green Eye Associates yet? You'll still receive the same award-winning service and excellent care from Dr. Green and her dedicated optometrists and staff. But now conveniently located in Woodway, right off of Highway 84. Come see the expanded optical showroom and be sure to ask about innovative services like IPL treatments for dry eye symptoms and the brand new Sports Vision technology. Green Eye Associates, the official optometrists of Baylor Athletics.
Favorite jeans, favorite shirt. I can make a sausage and I'm firing it up. Yeah, everybody knows that's how I get my grill on. You can smell that flavor up and down the road. It's a little taste of heaven, and everybody knows that's how I get my grill on. Kanaka sausage. It's just a little taste of heaven.
Serving Texas since 2007, Magnolia Realty is a full-service brokerage led by expert industry knowledge and a commitment to community. With kindness and integrity at the forefront, every agent is equipped to help you navigate the market and make the real estate journey your own. Whether buying or selling, feel supported with an award-winning agent at your side from first offer to contract and close. Magnolia Realty serves cities including Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Temple. Learn more at magnoliarealty.com.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
It is Baylor and Nebraska in the NCAA tournament. Baylor 24-8 on the year, a 6 seed. Nebraska 19-12. They are an 11 seed. Baylor is the better seed, but Nebraska actually favored in today's game. The Bears will try to flip that script. You know, Lori, we're going to hear from Jana Van Geitenbeek in just a moment. But got to say, I think we all recognize that the team's close to the season was nowhere near their best basketball. They sputtered a bit to the finish. At times got off to slow starts and struggled to climb their way out of those holes. You know, we'll find out here over the course of the next couple hours. But I believe the time off was beneficial for this team. They needed to work on themselves a little bit, and they had time to do so.
Yeah, and I think to be able to find that spark again, that incredible energy that they play with, the precision of defense and offense, and just to find that joy again, and know you're playing for all the marbles here. You can kind of just forget about non-conference season. You can forget about conference season. You can forget about the tournament season. But now everything matters here, and I think teams just rise to the occasion when they come into March Madness play, and Baylor's been here before. They have players who've been here a lot. You're talking about Jana with, what did you say, six
of them, including Stanford and Baylor, yeah.
And then you've got Bella and Bugs. They have been a part of it. KJ, also opportunities to play. And you have others who've never played in this environment, like Talia Scott, who has an opportunity to be in a big moment for the first time here in the NCAA tournament.
Well, let's hear from Jana Van Geitenbeek right now. The senior trying to keep her career going along with all the other seniors today. Said the last 2 weeks have been really good for this team to kind of get their focus back where it needs to be.
It's really good for us to focus. We had 2 weeks to really hone in on what we need to work on. So defensively, we were working on that. We're getting our groove back, all our communication stuff, and so we just want to be really prepared, and we spent that 2 weeks preparing and being us again, and so I feel really confident about that.
You know, obviously you look, you as a fourth-year player here with the Bears, and of course 2 years at Stanford before that, you, Bugs, and Bella have been through these battles more than anyone else. What's something from your experiences in March that if you could impart to the younger players, those who just haven't been here before, what that would be?
I think you just have to be relentless, and you have to give everything that you have, because it's your last game. If you think about it that way, like you have nothing to save it for, and so whether that's diving on the floor, it's talking more, it's hyping up your teammates so much that they believe in themselves, and just going, being relentless.
Visiting with Jana Van Geitenbeek, Baylor and Nebraska today. And Jana, for you, I think you talk about this kind of finding your groove again. What does that look like? If you could pick like one thing in practice that you're like, oh, I like seeing this again, what might that be?
It's our defense. Every time our defense is on the same page and we're communicating and we're working hard, that's our groove. That feeds our offense. And so seeing us get it in practice and the light switch, whatever it is, it makes us confident, and we need it. So,
what does it mean to you to be here at Duke and playing a pretty historic stadium? It's a different world out here.
Totally. So I've always wanted to see this gym and play in it, and so for that to happen is really cool. Duke is a great program, and they have a great team, and the gym is just super cool. So I'm really glad and blessed to be here.
Well, now trying to get a couple of wins here over the weekend, and I'm curious for you, what's I think you all get hyped every game, but is there something different? What's it like when the ball's about to be tipped in an NCAA tournament game? What's something that you would, if you could help us see that through your eyes, what is that?
It's like kind of magical. It's cool. It's like you look around right before the ball goes up for the jump ball, and you're like, wow, this is why we play. This is the reason. This is the time. This is what we want. And so, I don't know. It's just this really cool feeling of gratitude, pressure. Yeah.
All the things.
All the things. It's amazing. We're playing in the tournament is cool, and we're really lucky to do it, and we work hard for it. We deserve it, and we're ready.
Looking for a fun night out with family or friends? Head to Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark and catch Baylor baseball this season. Single game tickets are on sale now, starting at just $6 for general admission seating. Or stop by the ballpark for $2 Tuesdays, featuring discounted concession items, plus $2 off general admission tickets. Grab your seats now at BaylorBears.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Baylor Ballpark.
Jan is such a good interview.
Planning a new or used vehicle purchase? Drive the lane with First Central Credit Union's easy online application. It's a winning season with First Central School Court Press of quick local loan processing. Your best rate and flexible terms. Apply online. You'll score at www.firstcentralcu.com. We're your team.
Membership and loan policy requirements apply. Member NCUA.
We don't just build trucks.
Let's make
we build
this
something that's meant to last.
Let's talk about
that's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas. Every line, weld, and seal, shaped with the pride, heat, and strength that only Texas really knows. The Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra, built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today. Toyota. Let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for details. You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Back here at Cameron Indoor Stadium, it is Baylor and Nebraska in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Campus of Duke University, and Baylor has a history here. It was in this facility that the Baylor women's basketball program played in its first ever NCAA tournament game, March 17th, 2001. Lori, hard to believe it's been 25 years. You and John Morris called that game. Rick May would have. He had a good excuse. His daughter was getting married that day. At that moment. That's right. So he couldn't be there, but you and John called it. That game was a 68-59 loss to Arkansas. But it really all started. A lot of the magic we've seen over the last quarter century began on this facility.
That was game number 1, and if I did my math right, we're on game number 79 for the Baylor women's basketball program.
Yes.
Here in the NCAA tournament. What a run it's been, and hoping that we continue on. We win number 79, and we go for number 80 on Sunday, but it's all about the next 40 minutes here.
Well, it was a great memory, and I think it's fun to revisit that. This program has a great history. It's building new moments, and hopefully today is another one of those. But hard to believe this is where it all started.
And very familiar. Not a whole lot has changed here at Cameron Indoor.
And it should.
Yes, it is historic, and I'm glad they've kept that feeling here. We're still up at the Crow's Nest. I think the lighting is better, and they have a pretty spectacular scoreboard that you can see now.
You mentioned the Crow's Nest, Larry. We'll talk about that a little more, try to show people around on our next link, Courtside Camp. So if you want to see that, go to youtube.com/Baylor Athletics, and we'll give you a little video tour as best we can. This facility built in 1940. It has changed very little. One of the most storied venues in all of college athletics, and it is the home of today's game between Baylor and Nebraska this afternoon. We'll hear from Bears head coach Nikki Collin when we return. Her thoughts on Baylor's making the most of its time away and what they need to do to beat Nebraska today. That is straight ahead. Coach Nikki when we come back on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
See for yourself why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Lean, along with her dedicated optometrists and staff. Receive trustworthy insights about your eye health. Enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes, face, and neck areas with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Visit greeneyeassociates.com. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. If you receive a call from someone claiming to be from a company, don't give them your personal information, ever. Unless you know them personally, hang up and call the company back on a verified number.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Favorite jeans, favorite shirt. Got Conecuh sausage and I'm firing it up. Yeah, everybody knows it's how I get my grill on. You can smell that flavor up and down the road. It's a little taste of heaven, and everybody knows it's how I get my grill on. Conecuh sausage. It's just a little taste of heaven.
Hey Baylor fans, Baylor softball season is currently underway. Come be a part of the action at Getterman Stadium all season long with single game tickets. With general admission tickets starting at just $8, there's no better way to enjoy elite college softball. And if you're coming with friends or family, group tickets are available for $5 each. Get your Baylor softball single game tickets now at BaylorBears.com/tickets.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
It's the start of the NCAA tournament in Durham, North Carolina. Duke University, the host for today's game between Baylor and Nebraska. And it's time for our pregame visit with Bears head coach Nikki Collin. And, you know, Coach Nikki, it's kind of crazy. It's been a 2-week layoff, and you enter today's game with everything on the line. You know, first I want to ask you, for this team, 2 weeks off to work on yourself, was that a good thing, a little bit of chance to maybe refocus on the little things that could be big things?
Yeah, I just think I think we started to wear down. I thought it was good for us, just health-wise, to have a little extra time off, and really just to lean in to some basics. You lose track of that over the course of the season as you go from one opponent to another, but to just really lean into some fundamentals, both offensively and defensively, because those are the things that get you off to a good start, especially in tournament time. Where teams don't know each other as well as maybe you do in your conference play. So, you know, can the rest help us with, you know, denial and ball pressure and some of the things that I think give us a chance to be successful in March.
You know, you mentioned getting off to a good start. That's something the team didn't do as well in its last couple of games heading into March. Obviously, the answer, make a couple shots, you know, to see Talia hit a couple shots early, that's one answer. But what do you want to see from the team, even if a couple shots don't fall early?
Yeah, I just think we have to get a piece of the paint against this team. If we're settling for perimeter shots against a team that I think should have a hard time keeping us from getting in the paint, then we're going to end up playing into what they want. I think it doesn't mean we can't get threes, but I think this is a team that we're more athletic than. So we got to play downhill, and if you play downhill, you got a chance to draw fouls. And then all of a sudden you're not as worried about whether shots fall or not because you're standing at the line with nobody guarding you. So I think we've got to be aggressive. I think we've got to play with pace in transition. But it doesn't mean we're just going to run down the floor and let it fly from three. We got to get the ball to the paint against this team.
Visiting with Coach Nikki Collin, it's Baylor and Nebraska today. You look at the stats. Nebraska hits shots at a high rate. They give up shots at a high rate in terms of opposing field goal percentage, one of the 10 worst in the nation. What stands out to you about them when you're trying to attack them defensively?
Yeah, I mean, they get up and they pressure. They'll deny some. I think we can get by their first level. You know, I told the team today our superpower is to be athletic. You know, I think we're a team that can use our speed and athleticism to get by them. Then we got to be good decision makers, which at times has been our Achilles heel, but we've got to get the ball past the first level. They'll rotate, they'll heavy rotate, and then we just got to make good decisions. Is it kick out? Is it drop? But I think they're a team that the reason they give up a high percentage of shots is because they pressure, they're aggressive on the perimeter. But then if you get the ball to the paint and they congest, you have wide open people. And so, we're going to have to make some shots for sure. I don't think you can come into March and be one-sided, but certainly you can also get on the offensive glass. I think this is a team that we can get on the offensive glass as well.
I mean, you talk about it sounds like maybe these are obvious things, but, you get offensive rebounds, maybe you get some easy second-chance buckets. You attack the bucket, you get some free throw line. I thought the team really, you think into February, had some success in doing that. Are those some secrets today, some keys? Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that over the course of the season, Talia was going to the free throw line, but she was going to the free throw line getting fouled on threes and jump shots. Where early in the season, she was putting her head down and finding her way to the rim. Some of that was because we didn't necessarily shoot the basketball as well, and people started building walls. Our defense didn't turn up as much over the course of the season where we got the ball in numbers in transition. But I think, we've got to lean in our defense to do a good job of getting long rebounds, of getting, turnovers, being aggressive that way so that we can get in transition and create a numbers advantage. Coach Nikki, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bears head coach Nikki Collin with the pregame comments. It is Baylor and Nebraska coming up today from Cameron Indoor Stadium. After this, on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Hellberg Barbecue is a family-owned business started here in Waco, Texas, and proud to serve the local area. They love to cater all kinds of events, big and small. Serving Baylor and its families is one of their favorite things, and they even ship barbecue nationwide. Check them out while here in Waco or online and support one of Waco's local barbecue restaurants, Hellberg Barbecue. Salt, pepper, and a whole lot of prayer.
Hi, I'm Jim Turner at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. As we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, I want to say thank you to all of our customers. Our dealership is more than a business to me. That's why when you come see us for a reliable new Chevy or award-winning service, we treat you like family. Come see our new collision center, now open to serve you even better for many years to come. Enjoy the game, then come see us at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. Together, let's drive.
Join us April 23rd at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame in Waco for our next Lunch with the Legend, presented by Baylor Alumni Sports Outreach. Our special guest will be Hall of Fame former men's golf coach Mike McGraw as he steps into retirement. It's Thursday, April 23rd, beginning at 11:30 a.m., and tickets are available now by calling 254-710-8300. Join us as we hear from Coach Mike McGraw, presented by Baylor Alumni Sports Outreach.
Serving Texas since 2007, Magnolia Realty is a full-service brokerage led by expert industry knowledge and a commitment to community. With kindness and integrity at the forefront, every agent is equipped to help you navigate the market and make the real estate journey your own. Whether buying or selling, feel supported with an award-winning agent at your side from first offer to contract and close. Magnolia Realty serves cities including Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Temple. Learn more at magnoliarealty.com.
Fox Sports Radio, 93.9 K230 CK and KRMX HD3 Waco.
This is Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Brooks wants to drive in on Abraham, who blocked her shot.
Way to go, Abraham. She held her ground.
Top of the key and traffic out to Fauntleroy. Here's a three from the left side, and it's good.
Today's game is brought to you by Central National Bank, proud season sponsor of Baylor Women's Basketball. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Baylor Scott and White Health, the official hospital and healthcare system of Baylor Athletics. Your healthcare, your way. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. TFNB, your bank for life. The official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Get ready. Tip-off is just moments away. Now, back to the voice of Baylor women's basketball, Derek Smith.
From high atop Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina, we have Baylor and Nebraska tipping off moments away. First round of the NCAA tournament. The Bears, who have reached the NCAA tournament 22 straight seasons, the third longest streak in the nation, will try to keep their season going today against the Nebraska Cornhuskers, a former Big 12 foe who they last played in 2011. Alongside Lori Fogelman, I'm Derek Smith, Van Goodall, our producer in Waco. And here at Cameron Indoor, the starting lineups are about to be introduced. We will give them to you now. When it comes to sports medicine and orthopedics, Baylor's Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics brings the home team advantage to Central Texans. First for Baylor's opponent, the Nebraska Cornhuskers of the Big Ten. They have the nation's number 28 net ranking. They are a number 11 seed. They finished the year with a 19-12 record, and their lineup was put together by their head coach, Amy Williams. Looks like this. The forwards are Petra Bozan and Emily Fisher. Petra Bozan, 6 points, 3.5 rebounds per game. Emily Fisher gets the start, a little used junior, just 2 points per game. And then the guards, Logan Nisley, Kaylin Hake, and Britt Prince. Hake is a great three-point shooter, hitting 35% of her shots, 7 points per game. Logan Nisley, a junior guard from Bismarck, North Carolina, 9 points per game. And then it is Prince, who is the engine for their offense and defense. Britt Prince, a 5'11 sophomore out of Omaha, first-team All-Team Big Ten performer. 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists per game. She is an elite free throw shooter. They are wearing red uniforms with white letters and numerals and red trim. Baylor takes the floor in gold uniforms today with the second emblazoned across their chest, green letters and numerals, green trim. Baylor, number 21 in the nation, number 6 seed, finished the year with a 24-8 record, and the starting lineup is a familiar one. The forwards are the seniors, Kirsten Johnson, Dariana Little-Page-Buggs, and Bella Fauntleroy. That trio, along with Jana Van Geitenbeek, all trying to keep their careers going today. Dariana Little-Page-Buggs, the only player in the Big 12 to average a double-double. Then you've got Bella Fauntleroy, 9.6 boards per game, and KJ, who have finished the year at nearly 2 block shots per game. The guards for the Bears, Jana Van Geitenbeek, as we mentioned, number 12 in the nation in assists per game with 6. And Talia Scott, Baylor's leading scorer, 20 points per game. She, the redshirt sophomore from Orange Park, Florida, is playing in her first NCAA tournament. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Baylor's Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. From injury prevention to enhanced recovery, team up with us to get back in the game. And that concludes Conecuh Sausage Countdown to Tip-Off. Conecuh Sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork. Their patented blend of seasonings and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true hickory smoked southern flavor. Conecuh Sausage is always great on the grill and perfect for tailgating. Pick up a pack and enjoy your family's favorite recipe at any meal of the day. Conecuh Sausage, a game day tradition, and the official smoked sausage of the Baylor Bears. Lori, it is time. Coach Nicky said be athletic, be disruptive, be tough. If the Bears do those 3 things today well, they have a great chance of moving on. But you got to do it, and it's about to start right now.
That's right. That's what it is all about, is just listening and then executing that scouting report. I think Baylor's had plenty of time to be able to walk through what Nebraska does well and what some are the the ways that they may be able to exploit this team. And we're just going to be able to find out in just a moment. KJ there to jump at center, and let's get this one going, Derek.
6'4" senior Kirsten Johnson for the Bears. 6'3" sophomore Petra Bozan in the at midcourt for Nebraska to get things going here. From Cameron Indoor Stadium, the winner of this game will get Duke, who defeated the College of Charleston in the opening game here today. It is that time. The ball is tipped. Here we are. It is knocked around and controlled by Nebraska. They will begin the game on offense and give it off to their point guard, Britt Prince, who is really the straw that stirs everything for them both ends of the floor. Oh, Prince gets open left side, but her 3 is too strong. It hits the top of the backboard, and that'll give it to the Bears. So boy, an open look, but she missed.
Wide open look over there in the corner. What makes Prince such a player to watch is that Nikki Collins says she's a 50-40-90 player. That means she's better than 50% from the field, better than 40% from beyond the arc, and 90% at the free throw line, so she scores every which way that she can.
Baylor's first offensive possession. It's Bella Fauntleroy lobbing it down low to Buggs, cutting beneath the basket, lays it up and in with the reverse. Good execution to start things off.
I was about to say the same word. They executed that time. It was that screen and roll that Buggs does so well, and great patience from Bella to deliver that pass.
Now it is Hargrave missing from the right side of the lane. It's out of bounds, and it'll be Baylor basketball. And good job by the Bears to get Amaya Hargrove, a 14-point-per-game scorer, to fall away and miss there. Yeah, and to have KJ get underneath and be there to pull down that rebound. It was knocked out of her hands, but she was there to challenge that shot. 2-0 lead for the Bears, who have the basketball about a minute into this one. Scott lobs it at the free throw line to KJ, puts it on the floor, puts up a tough runner, and it's left short. Rebound batted around by Buggs, who touched it last. Nebraska did. Good hustle there by Dariana Littlepage. Buggs saves the possession for Baylor. Yeah, all she did was just take a flying leap out of bounds, but her feet left inbound, so she was able to get the ball and just knock it into Nebraska. Pass off the inbound, down low to Buggs, count it, and put her on the line. That is Buggs finding Bella Fauntleroy for the hoop, and she's got a chance at a three-point play. Great execution again, Lori. Inbound pass to Buggs, who fired it right back off her fingertips to Bella. And if there is anyone who needs a shot of confidence, it's Bella Fauntleroy. And after that ball went sinking in and she was fouled, she just pumped her fist. And number 22 at the free throw line now with an opportunity to extend Baylor's early lead. 84% free throw shooter, and she gets a friendly bounce to give Baylor a 5-0 lead. A minute and 6 seconds into this one. Now Baylor applying some backcourt pressure to Britt Prince. They really want to be disruptive to Nebraska's timing today when Nebraska has the basketball. Prince harassed near midcourt. She's having trouble. Unloads it at the last minute there to Nisley, who gives it back to her. 15 seconds have drained off the shot clock. It is Prince, Cena Lane driving, tries to pass it in the corner, but stumbles. There's a steal. Jana Van Geitenbeek has it, weaving into the front court, kicking it to Buggs, drives inside, spins in the lane, tries a turnaround that falls off the rim. It's knocked into the hands of Nisley for the Nebraska board. 5-0 Baylor lead, 100 seconds into this ball game. It is passed inside to Hargrove. Hargrove kicks it back out. It is to Bozak. Bozak beyond her range, so she sends it to Prince. Now there's a cutter. Nisley at the free throw line, leaves it short. Rebound tipped around, and KJ chases it down for the Bears. Baylor has scored the game's first 5 points. Jana in transition is short on the three, though. And the rebound is grabbed by Bozak. Gives it off to Prince. Prince knifes inside, cuts a pass down low, and Nebraska misses a layup in close. That was Bozan beneath the bucket, but she could not convert. Buggs clears the rebound for the Bears. Here is a mid-range jumper from Talia Scott. That is good from the right side. Boy, she has not hit her first shot in any of the last 3 games. In fact, it's been a slow start for each time. But, Lori, it's just one bucket, but that's a good start. And I think that's the first time she's touched the ball in this entire first quarter. So for Talia to touch the ball, score immediately, that's good for Baylor. 3 different players have scored so far. 7-0, Baylor with the lead. Here's Prince unloading a 3. It's too strong. Fight for the rebound. Hargrove was held, and it's going to stay with Nebraska. That's a foul on Bella Fauntleroy, the first on either team. Well, a good start to this game for the Bears. Baylor 3 of 6 from the field, and they've held Nebraska to 0 of 5. 7-0 Baylor lead, 7:12 to play, first quarter. Well, a great matchup to watch is Dariana Littlepage Buggs on Britt Prince. And you can see how that's the second time that Buggs' length has forced a turnover. Baylor steals the inbound. Here's a transition 3 from Bella, too strong from the left corner. In the weak side, rebound is grabbed over there by Nisley. Prince back the other way. Baylor with a 7-0 lead, just over 3 minutes gone in this one. Hargrove, top of the arc, left side, gives it further out to Nisley. Hake comes to get it, middle of the floor. She wants to drive, sees a lane, gets inside, challenges KJ all, and KJ is called for a touch foul. KJ did get off her feet. There was a little contact, and they determined that was enough to blow the whistle. KJ's first and the team's second, and it's going to send Hake to the free throw line. This is a good free throw shooting team. Nearly 79% is his squad, and Hake is a big part of that, 87.5%. Well, Hake did a good job when she put the ball on the floor. She kind of did a little hesitation, and I think that's what caused KJ to make that little bit of body contact with her, and that's Nebraska's first point of the game. She hits the first and the second to make it a 7-2 ball game. Baylor with the ball and the lead. Baylor held him without a point for the first 3 minutes. Two turnovers, and
You know, Baylor hasn't been able to score on them, but they've been really pesky on the defensive side.
7-2, Baylor with the lead. Nebraska with the basketball. It is Williams, top of the key. Finds an open Hargrave. She's a good three-point shooter, and Hargrove knocks it down. She is shooting over 50% from downtown, and Nebraska now has scored the game's last 5 points. 4 minutes in, it's a 7-5 Baylor lead. Nebraska trying to turn up the defensive intensity here as Buggs has it on the left edge. Gives it off to Bella Fauntleroy. Kick out to KJ. Further out to Talia. Thought about a three, but good defense applied there by Williams. Talia wants to drive to the free throw line. Nearly walked with it. Fires it back to Jana. Single digits on the shot clock. Then Geitenbeek to Buggs. Finds KJ in the corner. Open for three, and it's well off the mark. Rebound to Williams. Oh, that was a good look, but she was just well off target. And now Nebraska has a chance to tie or take the lead. Pass into the corner to Hake. Wants to drive inside. Kicks it out. Extra pass. Hargrave open again, but she's strong on the three this time. Buggs is able to collect the rebound off her fingertips and feed it ahead to Talia Scott. It's a 7-5 Baylor lead about halfway through the first quarter. There's a bounce to KJ. She lost the ball but was fouled. That is the first on Nebraska. It is Kaylin Hake. That is her first and the team's first.
And Hake is the one who is known for, she's like the Bella Fauntleroy of Baylor. She takes charges, and I think she's close to breaking a Nebraska record for taking charges. She just rotated over a little bit too early and got the foul called.
Nebraska knocks the inbound pass away, so Baylor's going to have to play it from the sideline left corner. Baylor scored the game's first 7. Nebraska scored the last 5, and it's a 7-5 score here. 5 minutes, 13 seconds to play quarter number 1. Haley Weaver checks in for the first time, a fifth-year senior, a transfer from Northwestern. Height, a 6-foot guard off the bench for Amy Williams' Nebraska team. Of course, longtime Big 12 foes before they went the way of the Big 10 in 2011. Here is Scott finding Buggs in a crowd. Kicks it out to Jana. Catch and shoot three is left short. Rebound is loose, and there's a foul away from the ball, and that's going to go against Nebraska. That is against Kaylin Hake.
That's 2.
Oh, you know what? That's Petrie, who just checked in, called for the foul. Jessica
they
Petrie.
didn't call 14. I thought 14 was the one who made the well, interesting. Okay.
Petrie, there's leading scorer off the bench, and she just checked in and immediately was called for a foul. Here's Bella bullying her way to the basket off the inbound pass from the left wing and hitting a layup. Bella has 5 early points. It's a 9-5 Baylor lead halfway through the first quarter. Now it's Hake high on the right side for the Cornhuskers. Kicks it into the corner. Weaver wants to drive baseline. Extra pass up top. Oh, Hake is wide open for 3, and she knocks it down. That pulls Nebraska to within 1. Williams nearly steals the inbounds pass, and Baylor has to be attentive there. The coach's daughter nearly knocked it away. However, it was out of bounds. Baylor will keep it at our first quarter media timeout. The 2024-25 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank. Proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Bank different. Bank Central, Central National Bank. I should say the 2025-26 season is, but the 2024-25 one as well. We appreciate Central National Bank. Tight game early, 4:39 to play first quarter. Baylor 9, Nebraska 8. You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Have you been to the new location of Green Eye Associates yet? You'll still receive the same award-winning service and excellent care from Dr. Green and her dedicated optometrists and staff. But now conveniently located in Woodway, right off of Highway 84. Come see the expanded optical showroom and be sure to ask about innovative services like IPL treatments for dry eye symptoms and the brand new sports vision technology. Green Eye Associates, the official optometrists of Baylor Athletics.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. If you get a call saying they're going to lock you in jail for missing jury duty unless you pay a fine, that's fake. Scammers use scare tactics to force you to act without thinking. Just hang up the phone.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
This broadcast of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship is authorized under broadcast rights granted by the NCAA through Westwood One. It is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited. 4:39 to play first quarter in this first round of the tournament. Baylor with a 1-point edge over Nebraska. 9-8 is the score. Lori, Nebraska turned up a little bit of the defensive intensity midway through the first quarter. Still, though, Baylor's getting some good looks. Early on, though, just not knocking down those threes.
Yeah, and Nebraska on the other side is 2 for 8 from the field, but both of those are threes, and that will just that gives a team a lot of energy when they go through. It's got them back in this basketball game. Baylor up 9-8. Baylor started on a 7-0 run, and right now you've got Nebraska on an 8-2 run, and you've got Hake with 5 of those points. She's got a 3, and she hit both of her free throws. Those are key. Nebraska's really good from beyond the arc, and they're good from the free throw line, and then Hargrove had the other 3. But Baylor's got early points from Bella Fauntleroy, who leads the team with 5 of Baylor's 9 points. You've got 1 bucket from Talia Scott and another from Dariana Littlepage Buggs. Had some good looks from other teammates. Just got to be able to get a couple of those down, and I think then Baylor will settle down. The other thing, when you look at what Nebraska is doing, they are a rhythm-driven team. They're really finesse. You've got to disrupt their timing and their spacing and their movement, make them drivers instead of shooters.
Baylor has it out of the timeout. Kyla Abraham in off the bench for the first time. Here's a catch and shoot 3 by Talia Scott. Back rim, no. Bella tips the rebound back to Jana Van Geitenbeek, though, and Baylor's going to get another look at it. A fresh 20. It is Buggs on the left baseline. Tries to step back and knocks it down. Dariana Littlepage. Buggs now with 4 points, and Baylor's lead is 3 at 11-8. For Nebraska, they are playing out there with Williams, Petrie, Prince, Weaver, and Eliza Maupin. The Kansas State transfer is in for the first time. It is Prince feeding Maupin, top of the arc. Wants to drive down here, really walked with it, and then missed a runner off the back rim. Kyla Abraham clears the rebound for the Bears.
Nice rebound for Abraham at a crowd. She just got up there, got it, and secured that basketball better than I think I've seen her do that all year.
Talia Scott with it for the Bears. Zings a fastball pass to Buggs, who is called for an offensive foul. Brett Prince was right there. Actually, that's Jessica Petrie who was right there in her. Maybe a little bit of a shove, but she's called for the foul. I
think that forearm got to her of Buggs's, and Buggs a moment ago kind of faked that. I'm going to go inside it. I'm going to go get to the rim, and then she took that step back, fall away shot around the on the baseline. This time she decided to go to the rim, but she found number 12 in her way.
3 fouls apiece for both of these teams. Now Nebraska has it. Baylor with an 11-8 lead. Petrie, top of the arc, harassed by Kyla Abraham. Feeds Prince further out on the left side. Prince wants to drive on Buggs, the point guard. Now a switch off. Bella Fauntleroy takes over on Prince defensively. She's cut off, zings it across. It is on the floor by Nisley with 3 seconds to shoot. Nisley's going to have to try a tough fall away and miss. Maupin spikes the rebound, but Jana grabs it in a crowd. Van Geitenbeek off and running. Feeds it ahead to Talia Scott. 3 minutes to play first quarter. Here's a long 3 by Talia. Too strong, and the long rebound caroms out into the hands of Petrie. Prince back and running the other way. Finds Maupin up top. Not a good 3-point shooter, so she decides not to. Now gives it off to Weaver with 18 seconds to shoot. Weaver to the free throw line. Back to Maupin, who will unload a 3 and leave it short. Kyla Abraham with the rebound for the Bears. There's a dangerous pass ahead to Bella Fauntleroy, but she snags it. Gives it back to Talia Scott. Baylor trying to find its rhythm on offense early, but leads it 11-8. Here's a drive by Talia Scott. Knifes inside. Tries to feed it in a crowd to Kyla Abraham. Picks it up off the floor. Feeds Buggs, who's too strong on a free throw line jumper. Rebound tipped around. Buggs got it back. Throws it off the bottom of the rim. Got it back. Missed a put back again. Here's KJ with the offensive rebound, and she lays it in.
That's called staying with it. And I would hate to be the scorer right now. I'm not sure how many rebounds came off of that, but it worked out for Baylor. That was relentless.
And then it is thrown away by Nebraska. Baylor is going to get it back. That is the 3rd turnover for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So Baylor with 9
Lori, count them 9 second chance points here. 9 of their 13 have come thanks to the offensive rebound. Baylor with a 5-1 edge on the offensive boards.
Boy, it's made a big difference. Again, right now, where Baylor's just having a little bit of an issue, they're getting good looks from beyond the arc. They're just 0 of 6 and haven't been able to get one to fall.
Yuting Dunning off the bench. She's going to quickly fire a 3 and hit it from the left wing.
What I was hoping is that she was going to show me, and Dunn did, knocking down that 3 from over on the left-hand side. Great assist from Ella Brow in the game.
Now nearly a turnover. It is a turnover, a backcourt violation. Ella Brow, who just checked in off the bench, was harassing Nebraska defensively. They threw it into the backcourt. It'll be Baylor basketball. Note that Coach Nikki Laurie is going deep into the rotation early, giving Jana a breather. Ella's given the Bears some good minutes as of late, and the SMU transfer getting some early run along with team.
She knows how to play, and she has played in those spurts, and she's been incredibly efficient.
Here's Yuting Dunn open for 3 again, and she's 2 for 2. Yuting Dunn, who has been quiet offensively for the last month and a half, hits back-to-back 3s, and Baylor is up by 11 points with 83 seconds to play in the first quarter, prompting a Nebraska timeout. Lori, this is something that Baylor has missed for a little while now. That spark off the bench. The offense has been stagnant, but you know that Yuting Dunn with her three-point shooting ability has the potential to be instant offense. Boy, we just saw that here in a big way.
Yeah, and Baylor answered that 8-2 run by Nebraska with a 10-0 run. It all started with Bugs getting that shot along the baseline, that fall-away jumper that is just so sweet from her. Bugs just getting it on the offensive glass, and Kyla not giving up on a basketball. Got an offensive rebound and tip in, and then Ella Brow comes in at the point guard position, and all she does is feed Yuting Dunn 2 passes just about 20, make that 30 seconds. Let's be specific, 29 seconds
there we go.
apart, and Dunn rewards that pass from Brow on both of those, nailing the 3, and Baylor is up 19-8. And all of that 10-0 run, that came in just over 2 minutes.
You know, Lori, let's also look. Obviously, the offense has been impressive, but when you have a 10-0 run, that means the other team's not scoring as well. Look, Baylor has held Nebraska to just 2 of 11 shooting from the field. They've really worked on picking up the defensive intensity. You know, I don't think Baylor lost the games against Colorado and TCU because of their defense, but their defense wasn't as sharp as it could have been, and that hurt them. Well, today I think we're seeing some of that early intensity again. A long way to go, but you like the start at both ends.
Yeah, you do, especially when you're starting to close out a first quarter. You kind of just, you hung in there. You didn't panic with that 8-2 run by Nebraska. But it was just Baylor's relentlessness on the glass, I think, in that one play that gave them that 13-8 lead. Because if you look over on the stats right now, as far as rebounding goes, Baylor has a 5-1 rebounding advantage. I almost think that I think 4 of those rebounds came on that one play. But right below second chance points comes bench points. 8 points, and they're the last 8 points that Baylor scored. So immediately you get Kyla and Yuting Dunn to be able to score 8 quick points, and they've done that in about 45 seconds. And again, it was just. I mean, I think they threw the first haymaker in this game, and now you've got to be really good in closing out the last minute and 23 seconds.
Get a good look down at the Baylor crowd that traveled out here to North Carolina, making some noise behind the Baylor bench. Really appreciate their support, and know a lot of people were flying in yesterday. People out here even arriving today. Grateful to have them here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Baylor with a 19-8 lead after that timeout. 1:23 to play in the first quarter, and it'll be Nebraska basketball. They are playing right now with Prince, Hake, Hargroves, also Bozak and Nisley, their original starters. Hargrove knifing through the lane. Oh, and she's bumped by Dariana Littlepage Bugs, and that is going to be Bugs' second foul. That's an unfortunate one. That one really didn't impact the play at all, but it was a foul, and so Bugs is going to take a seat for a little bit here with 2 early fouls.
Yeah, Bugs picked up that play really fast. Again, just some slight contact.
And Bella Fauntleroy will check in place of her. Bella playing with a foul right now in the early going. Here's a catch-and-shoot three by Nisley, and that ends Baylor's 10-0 run.
Everybody knows on this team what's going to happen is that she spots up a three in transition, and she is so good at being able to getting the basketball out of her hands.
Baylor 19, Nebraska 11. 50 seconds to play first quarter. Bella Fauntleroy nearly loses the basketball, gets it back, wants to bang inside on Hargrove, but misses the turnaround. Rebound tipped around all the way to the perimeter, where it is grabbed by Prince. About 12 seconds between the clocks here. Half a minute to play in the opening quarter. Prince hands it off to Hake, racing to the middle of the floor, pushes it high left side to Nisley. Nisley drives to the top of the arc, gives it back to their point guard once again, the first team All Big Ten performer. Prince wants to drive, puts the head down, gets a step, banks it in. It's wedged in the rim and the backboard, and the possession arrow favors Baylor. She got inside but didn't have a great angle, and the ball got pinched in between the rim and the backboard. It's just sitting there right now till they can get someone with the equipment or the height to knock it loose. And now here comes someone with a mop.
You know, when Baylor,
there we go.
When Baylor had Brittany Griner, you just said, hey, Brittany, right, get over there and knock that one off. I saw a video the other day, and I don't remember the team. I think they ended up calling their cheerleaders in there, and they hopped up, and the cheerleaders.
On the shoulders?
Yeah. Just nonchalantly knocked it off there from about 15 feet up in the air.
Baylor up by 8, can play for the last shot of the first quarter. We're down to 9, down to 8. It's Brow high on the left side, picks up the dribble, feeds Talia Scott with 4, with 3. She's got to let a long 3 fly, and it's off the back rim. No, as the first quarter draws to a close. Well, 10 minutes in, so far so good for the Bears, who lead by a score of 19-11 as we head to the second quarter. I want to say hello to all of you watching on the NextLink Courtside cam. You'll notice it looks a little bit different here. We'll give you a little tour of where we are when we come back as we get you ready for the second quarter. Baylor in the first round of the NCAA tournament is up by 8 at the end of 1 on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge Checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Jim Turner at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. As we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, I want to say thank you to all of our customers. Our dealership is more than a business to me. That's why when you come see us for a reliable new Chevy or award-winning service, we treat you like family. Come see our new collision center, now open to serve you even better for many years to come. Enjoy the game, then come see us at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. Together, let's drive.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Just about to start the second quarter here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Baylor with a 19-11 lead over Nebraska. Appreciate all of you, whether you're listening on the Baylor Sports Media Network or watching on our NextLink Courtside Cam. Courtside Cam brought to you by NextLink, reliable high-speed internet for your home or business. And it's available each and every game on youtube.com/Baylor Athletics, the Baylor Athletics YouTube channel. And Lori, let's show people where we are. We are in the Crow's Nest, high atop historic Cameron Indoor Stadium, one of the most storied venues in all of college athletics. So I'm going to pick this up here. We're going to show people where we are. Lori and I are here in this Crow's Nest. You can look down. There's broadcasters from other schools. And then the floor is down here. That is Cameron Indoor Stadium. We are up at the very top. It is quite a vantage point, a little different than what we're used to, but really an honor to be calling this game here and to just have a chance to be here in a venue like this. So, Lori, I'm going to set this back up here, but that's just a little peek, if you will, behind the scenes as to where we are calling today's game here at Cameron Indoor Stadium, and hopefully calling another one on Sunday if we can win today.
Yeah, one thing that you didn't show is all the padding that's on the poles and other things around there. It's like if you go to Disney World, and in some places, I think it was the old Jungle Cruise, and they used to have Mind Thy Head, and there are a lot of places up here you don't have a lot of room, and if you're not careful, you'll just go bonk into something.
Yes.
But they have the vinyl covering with the padding all throughout the Crow's Nest here. But it's such a fascinating place to be able to play in a vantage point that's just unique.
It really is a great venue. And, Cameron Indoor Stadium, it's historic. We know that. It's some of the great games in college basketball history, men's and women's, have taken place here. It's a legendary venue. And what stands out to me is it's an academic building, basically. It is. You would not know, walking by it on the outside, that you are walking by one of the most storied college basketball arenas in sports. If you haven't seen the outside, Google it. Cameron Indoor Stadium.
It is.
You don't look. It's a Gothic building like the rest of the beautiful Duke University campus, and it could be a library or an academic building. And even as you walk in on the inside, it feels like this. Colin Pirtle said it almost feels like a church in here in places, and it does. And then you get in here, and in the middle of it all is this 9,000 seat arena that just packs people in, and it's a great venue to be at, and we want to stay here through the rest of the weekend.
We would like to continue to experience Cameron Indoor, as well as the beautiful weather here in Durham, North Carolina. Right now, the Duke campus is just awash in cherry blossoms and just other, just beautiful trees throughout the campus.
Those dogwood trees we've been seeing that are blooming. A lot of pines.
Yes, and it's a beautiful campus, just like Baylor with its stately live oaks and its Georgian architecture, and just a beautiful campus.
If you did a NCAA tournament bracket for most beautiful campuses, Duke and Baylor would both be in the Final Four.
I think you're absolutely correct.
Well, let's see if Baylor can pick up where they left off at the end of one. Nebraska has the basketball as we start the second quarter. A 19-11 Baylor lead. Britt Prince has it. Baylor kept her scoreless in the first quarter. She feeds inside into the post. It is Bozan. Tries a turnaround. She's forced to miss badly by Abraham, but it's out of bounds. Nebraska will keep it with 15 seconds to shoot.
Yeah, Bella had a chance at that. I don't know if she batted it out of bounds like she was trying to tap back a rebound. It just went the wrong way.
Now an inside pass to Hargrove, knocked out by Baylor. They were ready for that baseline out of bounds play and blew it up.
I think Yuting Dunn heard everything that was said by the coaches yesterday. You got to go under screens, and you got to be ready. And she's the one who knocked that ball away with some real force.
Here is Nisley with it at the top of the arc. Feeds it down low to Bozak, who misses a little flip off the back of the rim. Yuting Dunn collects the rebound. Dunn had 6 first-quarter points for the Bears. It is Brow, Dunn, Fauntleroy, Abraham, and Van Geitenbeek. So 2 ball handlers on the floor right now for the Bears. Talia Scott getting a breather. Van Geitenbeek has a lane to the basket, drives inside, throws it wildly off the backboard, though, and the rebound is controlled by Nisley. She feeds it ahead to Hake. They have 3 made shots, all of them three-pointers here so far. Lob down low to Hargrove, left block. Ting stays with her defensively. She circles up and in, uses her leverage, but misses the shot. Rebound hit the floor. She nearly chased it back down, but Dunn is able to pick it back up. Baylor racing into the front court. Kick out to Dunn, back to Van Geitenbeek. Jana feeds Fauntleroy, and they're going to play it around the rim to Ella Brow on the right side. Now Bella cutting back to the basket. She is fouled.
Absolutely.
A blocking foul on Hake trying to take the charge.
Yeah, and Hake, the second time, she just got over there. And, boy, Bella took a hard shot, too, as she and Hake collided. But Hake got over there too late. She does take a lot of chances, kind of like Bella does, because she can draw a lot of charges. But she's 2 for 2 today, and that's not good for the Huskers.
You'll take that from the Bears standpoint for sure. They're the Spider-Man meme. You know that Spider-Man meme he's pointing? They both play defense the same way.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Baylor up 19-11, a minute 11 into the second quarter, and we may have a wet spot on. Oh, there's a piece of confetti or tape or something loose on the floor. It's picked up, and now Baylor will play it in from the baseline. Van Geitenbeek looking. Here is Brow off a screen up. She's going to feed it outside to Dunn, and an offensive foul is called to clear the look for a moving screen on Kyla Abraham. That's her first personal and the team's first in the second quarter. We've seen a little too much of that over the course of this year.
We have it. We saw a lot of it throughout the course of the year. Then we got better at not setting those moving screens. And
player is down for Nebraska. Is that Nisley laying hard on the floor there? She gets back up. She's all right. And she laid down there for a minute, kind of going down in a crowd there. And looks like they're not going to review anything. Sometimes they do in those situations, but it'll be Nebraska basketball.
I think it was just a tougher collision. Sometimes it just takes the air out of you, and it could be just from falling backwards, and you hit the floor.
Neither team has scored in the second quarter. It is Prince giving it up to Nisley for Nebraska. Bounces it ahead to Kennedy Williams back in off the bench for the Cornhuskers. Hargrove on the drive, gets to the right baseline and leaves a jumper short. Tried the follow away, couldn't hit, and Bella collects the rebound for the Bears. Bella Fauntleroy, 5 points, 2 rebounds here in the first half. And a pass is knocked away by Nebraska at the top of the arc and stolen. That pass didn't have enough on it from Van Geitenbeek. Now here's a fake by Prince, going hard to the basket, leaves the runner short. In a crowd, off the fingertips, Kyla Abraham collects the rebound. Good job to squeeze the basketball by Kyla.
Kyla's been really good on the defensive end, pulling down those rebounds and making sure that she's got a good hold of it. Nobody's knocking it out of her hands. She's got to give Baylor a chance here.
Yuting Dunn stalking at the top of the arc, feeds it across to Brow. 10 on the shot clock for the Bears, up by 8. Brow, double teamed, having some trouble. Bounces to Bella, feeds it inside to Abraham. Abraham is tied up. And the possession arrow will stay with Baylor with just 3 seconds to shoot. That was the right call there. She tried to go up with the basketball, and Nebraska just a hand on the ball smothered it. And Baylor will bring Talia Scott in off the bench in place of Ella Brow, who gave Baylor some good minutes here early. Scott with 2 points. She's trying to get going, and she's a good candidate here for a catch and shoot with just 3 seconds on the shot clock. Van Geitenbeek is looking. She's looking. She throws it in off of Talia Scott and out of bounds.
I think Talia knew she had to get the ball off quickly, and I think she was already looking to catch that ball and shoot before it actually got into her hands. She knew she was just, whatever it was, she was going to have to just lock and load and get it off really quickly, but it turns into a turnover. Baylor only has 1 shot this quarter. On the other side, Nebraska has 5 shots. They just haven't been able to get any to go down yet.
Here's Nisley open for 3 from the left side, and that breaks the streak there. She hits a 3. She's got 9 of their 14 points, and it's a 19-14 ball game. Nebraska coming on offensively, but now Bella gets to the bucket. She got loose and missed the layup. She thought she had some contact coming that did not arrive, and now Nebraska in transition finds Petrie down low. Good defense by Kyla Abraham. She forces her to turn away from the basket, and she misses the shot. Now Talia throws it away. Now it's loose on the floor. It is smothered by Nebraska and picked up by Williams. The Cornhuskers do come away with the turnover. Baylor by 5, but Nebraska moving with the basketball. Bella knifes in front of Hargrove and knocks the bounce pass intended for her out of bounds. Lori, game's gotten a little sloppy, and right now Baylor has hit a dry spell. Baylor looking to get it going here offensively, but you got to get it done at the defensive end first. Baylor just 8 of 23 from the field, but they've held Nebraska to 4 of 20.
Again, all 4 of those shots have been from beyond the arc, and that's what's kept this game really close. It's 19-14 Baylor. Baylor yet to score here in this second quarter.
Pass out to Prent. She is open for 3, but she misses. Rebound battled for in a crowd. Bella goes after it hard, and she is chopped down from behind by Jessica Petrie. That is Petrie's second foul, and it's the team's second. And Lori, 2 of their key players, Jessica Petrie, 11.5 points per game. Kaylin Hake, 7.5 points per game, have 2 early fouls.
Well, Baylor's got to take advantage of this at this moment. Right now, they've turned the basketball over more than they've been able to get a shot off here in the second quarter. Again, just 0 for 2.
Kayla Nelms checks in for the Bears in place of Bella Fauntleroy. You would love to see her give the Bears some good minutes. We've seen that at times in some key games this year for the Bears. Jana Van Geitenbeek off the inbound, races into the front court. Baylor is up by 5, 6.5 to play in the first half of basketball. Talia Scott fights her way through a screen, comes out there and gets the feed high on the right side. Williams staying with her defensively. Scott to the top of the arc, wants to bounce it inside, can't, so she goes further out to Van Geitenbeek. Single digits on the shot clock for the Bears. Jana wants to drive, feeds it in the corner. Talia Scott has a lane to the basket, and she lays it in. She just made a backdoor cut from the corner. There was nobody home for the Huskers, and Baylor is up by 7.
Excellent recognition, but that's the kind of execution you want. You want Jana to be able to find Talia over in the corner, but then that baseline just to open. That was an easy, high percentage shot.
Hake with a kick out to a wide open Williams. Her 3 is in and out. Offensive rebound though by Prince, and she is fouled on her way back up. Free throws coming for the nation's 6th best free throw shooter on this season. That foul on Talia Scott is her first and team's second. That bucket by Talia Scott was her second of the game. She has 4 points on 2 of 5 shooting. Baylor's leading scorer is Yuting Dunn off the bench. The sophomore from China has hit both of the 3s that she has attempted, and then Bella has 5. on 2 of 5 shooting. Nebraska is led by Nisley. She has 6 points, I beg your pardon. 5 for Haight. Prince looking for her first points of the game, and she knocks down the free throw. She's got one more coming. Excellent free throw shooter. She is at 94% on the year. No way she misses one here, and she hits the second. So she gets them both, and it's a 5-point Baylor lead, 21-16. There have been just 7 points scored in this second quarter, 5 of them by the Cornhuskers. Inbound to Jana Van Geitenbeek. She is picked up defensively off the bench by Claire Johnson, a little used sophomore. Talia Scott comes off a screen but doesn't take the pass. Instead, Jana drives inside hard and finishes with the right hand.
Give a screen assist to Kayla Nelms, who just got in the ball game, and she just allowed a lane for Jana to be able to finish. That was a tough finish for Jana.
23-16 Baylor, about halfway through the second quarter. Off a screen, Johnson can't clear the three. KJ on her defensively. KJ knocks the ball away and steals it. Picked up by Jana Van Geitenbeek into the front court. Baylor by 7. They feed it across to Talia Scott. Top of the arc. Thought about a three. She's going to let it fly, and it's in and out. Oh, now Nelms tries to keep the rebound alive, but is called for a loose ball foul trying to get that. That's Nelms' first and the team's third. Boy, that three by Talia Scott is in and out. Lori, it's not been a great offensive start for the Bears, who are up 23-16. Talia Scott just 2 of 6. But so far, one thing you've seen that you didn't see in the last couple of games of the year when Talia got off to a slow start, other players are stepping up offensively. And it's a 7-point Baylor lead with 5 minutes to go until halftime. Williams running the point for Nebraska. Feeds it ahead to Hake. Top of the key. Here is a cutting Nisley. Free throw line jumper. Splashes it in.
Well, you can't let Nisley get into a rhythm like that. She has such a quick release. And Nebraska ran that play really well.
She averages 9 points per game on the season. She has 8, and they're going to get another crack at it as KJ, her pass is wide of the mark. That's a turnover, giving it back to Nebraska with 4:39 to play here in the quarter, bringing us to our second quarter media timeout. Appreciate everyone watching again on the Nextlink Courtside Cam. Nextlink, reliable high-speed internet for your home or business. Baylor 23, Nebraska 18, 4:39 to play in the first half. This is Baylor women's basketball in the NCAA tournament on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004. Bluebonnet is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
Slam Dunk Cash with First Central Credit Union. Create a full court press with First Central's free checking that pays you cash back and refunds fees from other banks' ATMs. Enjoy free reward checking and be the MVP of a new cashback season. It's an easy bank shot. Apply online at firstcentralcu.com. We're your team.
Everything we do is true. We do for you.
Eligibility and qualifications apply. Member NCUA.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Baylor 23, Nebraska 18 in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Cameron Indoor Stadium is the scene today. Not as big of a crowd as you would expect in the second game as we saw in the first, in which Duke defeated the College of Charleston. The winner of this game will take on Duke on Sunday at a time TBD. Hopefully that is the Bears. And Lori, to get there, they're going to need to play better than they are offensively here in the second quarter. Baylor just 2 of 5 through the first 5 minutes and 21 seconds of the second quarter, but they've held Nebraska to just 2 of 10 in that stretch. The defense has really come to play, and it may have to keep stemming the tide until the offense can really get it going.
Yeah, the turnovers are what has really been hurting Baylor here in the second quarter. Nebraska has 10 shots in this quarter. Baylor only 5 because they're giving away some of those offensive opportunities or getting called on a moving screen or some other kinds of foul calls. And remember, Baylor right now is just trying to survive this 10-minute period right now in the second quarter without Dariana Little-Page-Buggs, who has 2 fouls. I mean, she's you have to get through the entire second quarter without her. That's a big miss to not have Buggs out there, because she is just such a defensive presence, a scorer when Baylor needs it, a facilitator, and right now she's just being an absolute cheerleader for her team right now as a team captain for the past 3 years.
Well, whenever role she finds herself in, she executes it well, even when she's on the bench. Laura, I do want to mention, this is a Nebraska team that is number 11 in the nation, shooting nearly 48%. Baylor has held them to well less than half of that here through the first 15 minutes of this game. Long way to go, but you like that sign. You know, not all shooting percentages created equal. For Baylor to hold them to 22%, pretty impressive so far. Out of the timeout, Nebraska with possession. Baylor with a different lineup than we normally see. Here's Nisley, who has a game-high 8 points, weaving to the left wing. She's going to step back and fire a 3 off the dribble and hit another way. That cuts the Baylor lead to 2. She has 11 points here early, and Kayla Nelms just stepped away momentarily. That was enough to give her room to clear the 3. Baylor is led by as many as 10 in this ball game. Here is Talia Scott feeding it left side to Dunn. She's 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, now 2 for 3 as that 3 is online, but a bit too strong. Long rebound out to Williams. Nebraska with the ball and a chance to tie or take the lead. It's Hargrove high on the left side, moving to the middle of the floor. KJ on her defensively. Now outside to Hake. Yu-Ting Dunn clears a space. Now they're going to pass in the corner, and they throw it away. They tried a fastball from the right side of the floor to the left, and Kennedy Williams gave it her best effort, but it evaded her, and that gives it back to the Bears.
Well, I'm glad they decided to throw it over there in that corner towards Williams instead of trying to find Nisley, who has just been just absolutely on fire for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And now it's Baylor. See if they can get a good executed kind of offensive possession here.
Just 4 points for the Bears here in this second quarter. Talia Scott picks up her dribble. Jana has to come and get it. Van Geitenbeek to the middle of the floor. Sees a lane, pops at the free throw line, leaves it short. Rebound tipped around, and it is controlled by Hargrove. Hargrove, 3 points, 2 rebounds for the Cornhuskers. They've got a chance to tie or take the lead. Hargrove muscles down the lane. Her jumper is in and out. Then she grabs the rebound, fires it off the bottom of the rim. Her putback no good. Nelms clears it for the Bears and gives it to Talia Scott. Scott weaves into the front court, wants to get downhill, gets to the bucket, and she is fouled. A blocking foul on Nebraska's Kennedy Williams, and that will send Talia to the free throw line. Kennedy Williams, her first foul, and it's the team's third. And Talia Scott will go to the line where she converts at a 90% clip. Lori, she's second in the Big 12 and one of the nation's top free throw shooters, top 10 in the nation.
I think that may have been the first time that we've seen Talia be able to get inside the paint. She's touched it a few times, one of those when she had a clear lane to be able to score, but misses that first free throw.
First free throw is in and out. She's got one more coming. Couple of dribbles for Talia Scott. Second free throw is up, and she missed it. She missed them both. Got her own rebound, though. It carried back out to her, and now we've got a whistle, and I think the clock did not start. Baylor playing right now with Ella Brow, Talia Scott, Bella Fauntleroy, Kayla Nelms, and Kyle Abraham. It's a lineup we don't often see with Buggs drawing 2 early fouls. Baylor got an early spark from the bench, and Coach Dickey has rode with some different looks here in this second quarter. Baylor up by 2, 23-21 with 2:57 to play until halftime. It'll be Bella Fauntleroy to play it in from the left sideline. Nebraska getting aggressive defensively early, and Talia Scott is fouled. Boy, they really set that up. I would almost argue, Lori, that wasn't very smart on Nebraska. Before Baylor even had the basketball, they ran up and started bodying the Bears from behind, and then when Baylor had the basketball for real, Talia Scott was just hooked by Williams, and that's Williams' second.
Well, that's one of the things that Williams is known for. They call her an annoying defender because she really gets under your skin.
Talia Scott has it for the Bears with under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Scott at the top of the arc, feeds it right wing to Abraham. Abraham throws it down low to Nelms, who was grabbed by Bozan. And that is Bozan's first foul, the team's 5th. And I beg your pardon, that is the team's 5th foul, and that is going to send the Bears to the free throw line for the final 2:44 of the first half. And boy, I didn't see what Abraham saw, but that's because Nelms was being held, and Nelms was going to cut beneath the bucket for a potential layup.
She was, and I think that's one of those fouls you just have to give. You have to give up, and Nelms hits the first free throw, and Baylor needed that. It's been a while since they scored, nearly 3 minutes.
Baylor now 3 of 5. I beg your pardon, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. 3 of 5 as Nelms hits them both. Boy, you got to hit those, and Baylor gets them there. Nebraska will take Bozan out and put Petrie in. Petrie playing with 2 first-half fouls. 25-21 Baylor, 2:40 to go here in this opening half of basketball. There's a pass ahead to Prince, who nearly loses it off her fingertips, but is able to control it. Gives it to Hargrove, top of the arc, drives inside, gets a step on Abraham and lays it in. From the top of the arc right to the hoop, she cuts the Baylor lead in half at 25-23. It's a 2-point game. Late first half, Ella Brow running point at the moment for the Bears. Abraham feeds it right side to Bella Fauntleroy. Bella back up top to Nelms. Good look at a 3 from up top. Oh, it's a little off the mark. Kicks into the hands of Nisley, who feeds it out top to Prince. Prince wants to drive, now circles outside, gives it to Hargrove. Hargrove on the drive, leaves the runner short. Abraham stayed with her there, forced the miss. Brow collects the rebound for the Bears. Racing into the front court to the left edge. Brow, the SMU transfer, has seen more playing time as of late. Nearly loses it, feeds it to Nelms at the free throw line, back out to Brow. Still plenty of time, 15 seconds to shoot. Brow with a head fake, bounces down low, tries to feed Abraham inside, but Hargrove got a hand in there, knocked it away. Stolen by Prince, feeds it ahead to Williams. Baylor by 2, 90 seconds to play first half. Now it's Williams slowly moving to the middle of the floor, starting back left, bouncing to Prince, gets the handoff on the wing. They feed it to Prince for an open look at a 3, and Nebraska has their first lead of the day. Prince hits the 3 from just offset left side, and it's a 26-25 Nebraska advantage. 70 seconds to play in the first half. Here is Ella Brow. Baylor would love to answer quickly. Brow gives it to Scott. Her pass is telegraphed and stolen by Petrie, who dances all the way to the rim for 2. She had a coast-to-coast layup there, and it's a 3-point Nebraska lead. Baylor down for the first time. 48 seconds to play in the first half. Talia Scott inside to Abraham. Puts it on the floor. The defender falls to the floor. No whistle, and Kyla lays it in. Petrie was trying to draw the charge to no avail. That was a bit of a flop, and Kyla cuts the Nebraska lead to 1 with her first points of the day.
Nice finish by Kayla and not getting distracted by the attempted charge attempt there. 25 seconds to play first half, 6 seconds between the clocks. Nebraska's going to try to drain some of that clock here, though Baylor should get another look at it. Cornhuskers with the ball and a 1-point lead. It is Williams, down to 14 to shoot. Williams around the screen, feeds it to Prince. Extra pass. Here is Nisley missing a 3. Bella collects the rebound. Bears have 7 seconds to go the length of the floor. Bella into the front court, fires off the dribble and leaves it short as the first half draws to a close. So after 20 minutes of basketball here in the NCAA tournament, Baylor will head to the locker room down by 1, 28-27. It was not a good second quarter for the Bears, who were outscored 17-8 by Nebraska. But Lori, the Bears, as we head into our Nissan halftime report, have some time to regroup and see if we can find that offensive rhythm, because the defense is playing very good, well enough to win this game. Yeah, and I think it'll be so much better once you get Bella, or not Bella, but Bugs back in the game. I think she is just, like Coach Nikki says, a security blanket. I think she just gives everybody that shot of confidence, and you know, just being able to stick with it, you know, with execution on both ends of the floor. I'd be glad to see Dariana back in the game after halftime.
We'll have stats and scores coming up on the Nissan halftime report from Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina, where the Bears trail Nebraska by 1 at halftime, 28-27. This is Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
See for yourself. Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green, along with her dedicated optometrists and staff. Receive trustworthy insights about your eye health, enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes, face, and neck areas with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Visit greeneyeassociates.com. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Hellberg Barbecue is a family-owned business started here in Waco, Texas, and proud to serve the local area. They love to cater all kinds of events, big and small. Serving Baylor and its families is one of their favorite things, and they even ship barbecue nationwide. Check them out while here in Waco or online and support one of Waco's local barbecue restaurants, Hellberg Barbecue. Salt, pepper, and a whole lot of prayer.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas. Every line, weld, and seal, shaped with the pride, heat, and strength that only Texas really knows. The Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today. Toyota. Let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for details.
Fox Sports Radio, 93.9 K230 CK and KRMX HD3 Waco.
You're listening to live coverage of Baylor women's basketball. Now, it's time for the Nissan Halftime Show, brought to you by Central National Bank, proud season sponsor of Baylor women's basketball. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Nissan, innovation that excites. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Stay tuned as we break down the first half. Check in on scores and more. All coming up on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Back here at halftime, Cameron Indoor Stadium, where the Bears trail by 1 in the first round of the NCAA tournament. 28-27 is our score as we welcome you in to our Nissan halftime report. Nissan, innovation that excites. Well, it's been a game that Baylor has led, but a rough second quarter gave the lead back to Nebraska. Baylor led at one point by 11 points at 19-8, but Nebraska outscored the Bears 17-8 in the second quarter to claim the lead. Let's take a look at the first half stats. Baylor actually out shooting the Cornhuskers 35-29%. Both teams have taken 31 shots. Baylor has hit 11, Nebraska has hit 9. But the difference in the game, two things right now. 3-point shooting. Nebraska is 6 of 13 from beyond the arc. Baylor just 2 of 13. Nebraska 4 of 4 from the line. Baylor 3 of 5. Nebraska has forced 9 Baylor turnovers. Baylor has forced 6. The Bears have scored 6 points off of those turnovers. But Nebraska has scored 14 off of those turnovers. So right now you look, they have 18 points off of made three-pointers. In fact, all but 3 of their made field goals have been threes. And then they have literally half of their offense has been fueled by Baylor turnovers. So you want to cut those down in the second half. Baylor's strength has been on the boards. Baylor has outscored them in the second chance points category 11-2. Baylor with 6 offensive rebounds to their 4. Baylor with the edge on the glass at 16-13. Individual numbers, the Huskers are led by Logan Nisley. She averages nearly 9 points per game, but she has 11 in the first half. 3 of 4 from beyond the arc to go along with 5 rebounds, 5 points apiece for Britt Prince, for Maya Hargrove, and for Kaylin Hake. They have combined for 15 of the team's 28 first half points. For the Bears, they are led by Yuting Dunn, who hit a back-to-back threes. She has 6 points on 2 of 3 shooting off the bench. 5 points for Bella Fauntleroy. She is 2 of 6 to begin the game. And then 4 points apiece for Talia Scott, Kyla Abraham, and Dariana Littlepage. Bugs 2 of 6 with 4 rebounds. Abraham has hit both of her shots and has a team-high 5 rebounds. Talia Scott just 2 of 6 from the field. After that, for the Bears, 2 points apiece for Jana Van Geitenbeek, who also has a rebound and an assist. Kaylin Elms with 2 points and a board off the bench. Ella Brow and Kirsten Johnson played, but did not score. It all adds up to a 28-27 halftime lead for Nebraska here in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. We'll talk a little bit more about what the Bears have to do to get it going again in the second quarter, but when we come back, Lori will give you a quick look at other scores in the NCAA today, and then we'll get you ready for the second half. 28-27, Baylor trails Nebraska at intermission here on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Baylor fans, ready to keep it cool this season? Ice and Easy delivers premium ice lightning fast. From tailgates to restaurants, construction sites, concerts, and races, Ice and Easy has you covered. Game day or work day, keep your drinks cold and your spirits bold. Ice and Easy, we deliver, you chill. Proud supporter of the Baylor Bears.
Hi, I'm Jim Turner at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. As we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, I want to say thank you to all of our customers. Our dealership is more than a business to me. That's why when you come see us for a reliable new Chevy or award-winning service, we treat you like family. Come see our new collision center, now open to serve you even better for many years to come. Enjoy the game, then come see us at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. Together, let's drive.
Proudly serving Texas since 2007, Magnolia Realty is a full-service brokerage and a trusted neighbor, bridging expert industry knowledge with integrity and kindness. Known for their award-winning agents, Magnolia Realty understands the dynamics of making the real estate journey your own and the importance of trust from contract to close. You can find their local agents here in Waco and across the state, including in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, and Temple. To get connected and learn more, visit magnoliarealty.com. Here's to home.
Do you want to earn points while cheering on your favorite Baylor teams? Join Baylor Bold Rewards. Track your attendance on the Baylor Sports app across athletic events and earn points towards prizes and experiences. Download the Baylor Sports app or register online today at BaylorBoldRewards.com and start earning your points today. Looking for a fun night out with family or friends? Head to Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark and catch Baylor baseball this season. Single game tickets are on sale now, starting at just $6 for general admission seating. Or stop by the ballpark for $2 Tuesdays, featuring discounted concession items, plus $2 off general admission tickets. Grab your seats now at BaylorBears.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Baylor Ballpark.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Welcome back, everyone, to our Nissan Halftime Show. We're live from Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina, on the campus of Duke University. Baylor down by 1 at the half to Nebraska. It's the Huskers 28 and the Bears 27. Let's take a look at scores that are around the country in the first round of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. We'll start with the game right before ours, as number 3 seeded Duke hosted 14th seed Charleston, and Duke wins that one 81-64. So the winner between Baylor and Nebraska will face Duke on Sunday afternoon. Other scores from around the tournament: number 9 seeded Virginia Tech and number 8 seed Oregon, and the Ducks lead that one 61-40. Washington and South Dakota State playing a game today in the first round, and the Washington Huskies lead 28-20. That with about 5 minutes left to go before halftime. Also, out of the Big 12, third-seeded TCU in Fort Worth. They also are in the Sacramento Region 4, and it was the Frogs all over UC San Diego today, 86-40. And those are the scores from around games that are underway right now. Of course, there's a full day of basketball, both the men's and the women's tournaments today. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll get you ready for the second half of this one from Durham, North Carolina. It's Nebraska 28 and Baylor 27. You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Hey Baylor fans, Baylor softball season is currently underway. Come be a part of the action at Getterman Stadium all season long with single game tickets. With general admission tickets starting at just $8, there's no better way to enjoy elite college softball. And if you're coming with friends or family, group tickets are available for $5 each. Get your Baylor softball single game tickets now at BaylorBears.com/tickets.
Hellberg Barbecue is a family-owned business started here in Waco, Texas, and proud to serve the local area. They love to cater all kinds of events, big and small. Serving Baylor and its families is one of their favorite things, and they even ship barbecue nationwide. Check them out while here in Waco or online and support one of Waco's local barbecue restaurants, Hellberg Barbecue. Salt, pepper, and a whole lot of prayer.
Have you been to the new location of Green Eye Associates yet? You'll still receive the same award-winning service and excellent care from Dr. Green and her dedicated optometrists and staff. But now conveniently located in Woodway right off of Highway 84. Come see the expanded optical showroom and be sure to ask about innovative services like IPL treatments for dry eye symptoms and the brand new Sports Vision technology. Green Eye Associates, the official optometrists of Baylor Athletics.
You've been listening to the Nissan Halftime Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network. Brought to you by TFNB, the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Nissan, innovation that excites. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Stay tuned as we get set for the second half action with the Baylor Bears as we rejoin Derek Smith live from Courtside, bringing you the second half of action and more. All coming up on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
We welcome you back into Cameron Indoor Stadium, where both Baylor and Nebraska are out on the floor, out of the locker rooms, ready for the second half of today's game. Baylor trails the Cornhuskers 28-27, and Lori, Baylor had to weather the storm in the second quarter without Dariana Little-Page-Buggs, who picked up 2 early fouls, just 9 minutes for her in the first half. She was missed. Baylor was +2 when she was in the game, and then was outscored by 9 when she was out in the second. I think you also need a little better shot selection from Talia Scott. I think if you can get Buggs out there doing what Buggs does and Talia Scott doing a little more what Talia does, that's a good recipe. But you only got 20 minutes in the season to get that right.
That's right. And you know what Nebraska is doing right now when Talia has the ball at the top of the key, it's just like what was talked about in the scout, is that Nebraska does a lot of switching and they jump out at you. And that's a little bit disruptive because it doesn't allow Talia to be able to turn the corner and get to the rim sometimes. But still, you know, Talia is a big part of the offense. I think once Dariana Little-Page-Buggs is back in the game, what she does is just settle everybody down. And and just allow everybody to play through flow, to communicate well, just to do all the things that Bugs does outside of scoring and rebounding. She just is there's comfortability with her.
Baylor's starters combined for just 15 first half points. And you look, they were just, they were 7 of 25 from the field. You need more than that from them. So, original starters on the floor for both teams. For the Bears, Van Geitenbeek, Scott, Fauntleroy, Bugs, and Johnson. For Nebraska, they will play out there with Nisley, Prince, Bozan, Hargrove, and Hake. They play it in, and we are underway in the second half, final 20 minutes of one of these two teams' season. Bears are going to try to play a little better, and Jana starts it off by knocking the ball away from Nebraska and forcing a jump ball. Possession arrow will go to Baylor, and that's a good start.
That is 3 times that Baylor's had the possession arrow in its favor, but you want to be able to force Nebraska away from towards the half-court line. And once that happened, it was Jana almost getting that turnover. In fact, she gets credited with a steal.
Baylor are now with its first look at the basket in the second half, looking to go back in front. Talia Scott shaves across the top of the three-point arc, hands it off to Van Geitenbeek on the dribble. Gets inside, nearly rolled it in. She'll settle for a trip to the free throw line. She just kind of went sideways, sliding through a tight spot. Nearly had a chance at a three-point play. Instead, she'll go to the free throw line, where Jana on this season converts at a 72% clip.
I was really surprised that she was able to slip through like she did. But, again, just went sideways. And what Baylor has to do is find a way to score any way that you can, and Jana knocks down her first free throw.
That ties the game. Baylor is 4 of 6 from the line. Second free throw also good, and the Bears are back in front, 29-28, right, 31 seconds into the third quarter.
And those are points off of turnovers, and we were talking about that during the halftime break. Nebraska has 14 of its 28 points off of Baylor's turnovers.
Nebraska back the other way with it. Hargrove gives it off to Hake, circling to the top of the key, pushing it outside to Nisley. She bounces down low to Bozan, gets in close and flips it off the glass and in. Nebraska back in front at 30-29, a minute into the second half. Jana Van Geitenbeek has it for the Bears, attacks the bucket, gets downhill, and she is blocked on the way to the bucket by Prince. Prince has a bit of a height advantage and about 4 inches on her. Jana attacking, though, but Prince, good job staying with her defensively.
Yeah, I think that does a lot for Baylor. If we're a little bit more aggressive in trying to get to the rim, I think that you've got to account for Jana.
There's a pass in the post to Bella, who leans in and misses the layup. Offensive rebound grab by KJ, misses the putback, gets it back. Extra pass to Jana Van Geitenbeek, thought about a 3, attacks again, nearly loses it. Bounces to KJ, 10 to shoot. Ends up in the hands of Bugs. Bugs, top of the arc, dancing with 7, with 6. She's going to have to put it up. Leans inside, loses it on the way up. 2 seconds to shoot, gets it back, and that's a shot clock violation. Boy, there were moments that possession looked promising, but just as quickly as they did, it was like the doors closed.
You just can't. I don't want to say you can't miss, because it's wide open layups are hard to make sometimes, and that one from Bella just rolled off. Physics, it wasn't her friend in that possession.
Now Baylor trapping a steal in the backcourt. Talia Scott finds Jana, who's fouled, and she'll go back to the free throw line. Baylor, Lori, has a few times in this game employed a backcourt trap that we don't usually see, and it's had some success as Baylor forces another turnover, and it's going to earn Jana Van Geitenbeek a pair of free throws.
Yeah, Talia Scott playing some defense there and being a bit disruptive and immediately getting the ball to Jana. Jana's look after she went in to try to score, she got pushed in the back and ended up missing the shot because of that. But back at the free throw line and Jana's money from there.
Jana Van Geitenbeek now with 5 points. The game is tied at 30. One more coming for the senior. Played in her 11th NCAA tournament game. She rattles it home. Jana leads the team with 11. She played in some at Stanford and winning the national title there before coming to Baylor. After that, it is Bugs and Bella with 7 apiece in terms of most tournament games. Of course, those numbers all go up today. Jana now with 12. Bugs and Bella, this is their 8th. Ooh. Baylor by 1. It is Williams checking in off the bench, racing into the front court, feeding it outside to Prince, catch and shoot 3, and that is right on the money. from the left edge, and Nebraska back in front by 2 at 33-31. Well, she came off a screen, flared out there, got open, and was able to cash in. Van Geitenbeek feeds Bella inside, right to the bucket for the layup. Good collaboration there on the pick and roll.
That's how Baylor ran it earlier. That first bucket from Bella to Bugs ran like that. And Jana with a great assist to Bella, who finished at the rim.
Score tied at 33, 7:40 to play in the third quarter. It is Prince, top of the arc, around a screen to the left elbow. Step back jumper swatted by KJ. She picks it out of the air and gives it off to Van Geitenbeek. Here comes Baylor with the ball and a chance to reclaim the lead. Jana around a screen, feeds to Bugs, spins inside, gets in close and floats it in. The Bears missed her when she picked up 2 early fouls, and she puts the Bears in front here with the turnaround, 35-33. 7:10 to play, third quarter. Here is Nisley, way up on the left side. Oh, and Talia poked the ball away, but was called for a reach-in foul. That is Talia's second and the team's first. Dariana Littlepage Bugs now with 6 points for the Bears after that bucket. And Nebraska will play it in. Get a look at the replay here. Yeah, Bugs, Talia did get a hand in there, called for the foul there. She tried to poke it away from Nisley, and Nisley will play it in. High on the right sideline. She's looking. Finds Hargrove right edge. Bell out there on her on the defensive end. Petrie now to Prince. Prince, wants to drive, and Bugs is called for the touch foul. It's Bugs' third, the team's second. And that was just pretty simple. There it is. She just kind of put the arm out there and just managed to hook Prince. It was needless, and so just like that, Bugs is going to take a seat for the moment, and Yu-Ting Dunn will return for the Bears.
Well, Yu-Ting Dunn was in the same position as Bugs had to head to the, in the first quarter, to be able to head to the bench. Dunn came in and scored with a couple of threes in a row, but Prince gets loose and gets straight to the rim.
So she ties the game at 35 with that layup. Prince now with 10 points after being held scoreless in the first. Van Geitenbeek to the bucket, circles underneath, tries to flip it up and missed, and it's knocked out of bounds. Baylor will keep it with a fresh 20. Jana circled underneath the basket for a paint touch, realized she was open, tried a little tough turnaround and couldn't hit, but the Bears will keep it with 6:42 to play in the third.
But to see KJ get in there and really battle for a rebound, that's twice. It's been knocked out of her hands, but she was there for that offensive board.
Talia Scott fouled coming off of a screen. You could see that. Nebraska's been applying aggressive defense there, and here Kennedy Williams is called for her third foul. The third on the Huskers here in the third quarter. Score is tied at 35. With 6:37 to play. Baylor lobs it in from the baseline to Fauntleroy. Top of the key, picks up the dribble, looking outside for Jana, floats it to her. Jana knifes between 2 defenders, dumps it down low to KJ, who was open but fumbled the pass out of bounds.
I think that may have been a stronger bounce pass that just kind of ate up KJ, but you've got to secure that one, and those turnovers. Now you just got to play some D and make sure that turnover doesn't hurt you like it did in that second quarter.
Baylor now has turned the ball over 11 times, Nebraska 8. Cornhuskers with the basketball, score tied at 35. Prince, top of the arc, kicks it into the corner. Williams is all alone, but she leaves the three short. High point rebound there on the right, blocked by KJ. She went up in a crowd and strong arm that one. Here is Talia Scott, spinning and lost the basketball. Just didn't have the handle on it. She tried to make a move. Prince takes the feed in front of the crowd and lays it in. Nebraska 37, Baylor 35. Too many turnovers for the Bears, and they're fueling a good portion of Nebraska's offense.
That's 16 points off of 12 Baylor turnovers, and that's almost half of Nebraska's points.
Talia Scott slips her defender but misses the open three. Offensive rebound. Jana misses the second chance three off the offensive board by Dunn, but Nebraska loses it out of bounds. Lori, Baylor is going to have to start hitting some of these threes. Baylor is 2 of 15 from beyond the arc, and most of these looks are pretty decent.
They are. The only 2 threes that they have out of those 15 attempts were done right in a row back in the towards the end of the first quarter. They've just got to get those to fall, at least one.
Baylor has it down 37-35. Talia Scott dancing left edge, lost the ball, got it back. Jana comes to get it from her. Center jump circle with 7 to shoot with 6. Jana top of the arc, gets downhill, attacks, puts up a tough runner and misses from the right side of the lane. Rebound is pulled down by Prince. Nebraska by 2. Prince into the front court, sends it back out to Petrie. Hand fakes a 3. Now bounces to a cutter, and Hake misses the driving layup. Offensive rebound, though. Hargrove, she misses the point blank putback, gets it up and off, and nearly got it to fall in a crowd.
I think Jana's called for I think it's Jana who's called for a foul as Baylor was just playing aggressively, trying to pull down that rebound.
Well, the first quarter on has not been great for the Bears, who have gone 2.5 minutes without a point. Nebraska's outscored the Bears by 1 here in the third quarter. It's a 2-point game, 37-35, but free throws will be coming for the Huskers out of our third quarter media timeout. The 2025-26 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank. Proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. We'll come back to Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina when we return. The Bears are down 2 halfway through the third quarter on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't buy from social media ads unless the ad is from a verified company. When you click those ads, you open yourself up to fraud. If it seems too good to be true, it almost always is.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
At Magnolia Realty, award-winning agents set the bar for professionalism and excellence. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Magnolia's full-service brokerage will guide you through every step of the process with expert industry knowledge. Their agents are fully invested in learning your story and customizing the real estate experience to suit your stage of life. Magnolia Realty has been serving cities across Texas since 2007, including Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, and Temple. To get connected or learn more, visit magnoliarealty.com.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
You know, the pressure picks up in the month of March, no question, for seniors on both teams. And you think about Baylor, this veteran team, Jana Van Geitenbeek, Dariana Littlepage-Buggs, Bella Fauntleroy, Kirsten Johnson. There is that reality that with a loss, their Baylor careers are done. You look at Nebraska, they've got some seniors out there as well, Kaylin Hake, Haley Weaver, and there's that pressure that comes along with it. And you wonder how teams are going to respond. Baylor's defense has continued to play well here, Lori. They've held Nebraska, a team that is one of the top teams in the nation in field goal percentage. In fact, they're number 11 nationally. They've held them to just 33%. But Nebraska, likewise, has held Baylor to just 33%. And Nebraska's got it done from beyond the arc, so they lead by 2, 37-35. Although, as you pointed out, Baylor is doing a better job on the perimeter after Nebraska was 6 of 13 in the first half from downtown. They've taken just 2 shots here in the second.
Yeah, and some of those have been, they've been layups because there have been some turnovers or fast breaks and again, that is just, that's just fueling Nebraska right now, and I thought Baylor started off in just a really good rhythm. You had Jana, who was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. You had Bella score on a Jana assist, followed immediately by Buggs with a Jana assist. So Jana Van Geitenbeek was really out there facilitating well and getting a piece of the paint, getting her picking up the pace for Baylor. But right here, this is they're going just a mini run right now for Nebraska at 4-0, but the first free throw was missed.
A rare miss by Nebraska. Hargrove, an 82% free throw shooter, but she missed the first. She's got one more coming. She could push their lead to 3 if she hits, and she does. Nebraska's matched their biggest lead at 38-35, 4:55 to play in the third quarter. The Bears playing out there with Van Geitenbeek, Scott, Dunn, Fauntleroy, and Abraham. Scott from the right elbow is fouled on a jumper, taking the feed from Jana, and she'll go to the line.
And that's just the quickness of Talia Scott. She got right to the elbow where she is just so good. And the reason she didn't make that is because she was fouled, but she just got the ball in her hands and then took a quick shot. But right now it's just Talia, you get to the free throw line and, be that 90% free throw shooter here.
She missed a pair earlier. First free throw here is perfect. She's got one more coming. Playing in her first NCAA tournament game. What a year she had with the Bears. 20 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds per game. A top 20 scorer in the nation.
Amazing player. Those were 2 rhythm shots there from the free throw line as Talia Scott made both to get Baylor back within 1.
She now has 6. Nebraska with the ball. 38-37. They lead. 4:38 to play in the third quarter. Petrie, their leading bench scorer, has checked back in. Passes it ahead to Weaver, high on the right sideline. Weaver to the middle of the floor, fumbles it, trying to hand it to Prince, gets it back. 10 on the shot clock, kicks it in the corner, catch and shoot 3 by Petrie, no good. Rebound batted by Dunn to Fauntleroy, and here come the Bears. A chance to reclaim the lead. Pass lazily ahead to Dunn, but she chases it down, drives to the left wing, he retreats into the corner, and feeds it high left side to Bella. Jana comes in, gets it, middle of the floor. Still plenty of time to shoot. 15 on the shot clock. Bears with the ball down 1. Here comes Talia Scott off a screen. Catch, shoot for 3, and it's an air ball. Boy, she does not have her rhythm. That was just what you wanted there. Her coming off of a screen and getting a good look square, but she airballed it.
Yeah, it was
that gives it back to the Huskers.
A misdirection play along the baseline, and Baylor ran it perfectly, and that's the kind of shot that when Talia catches it and lets it fly like that, again, it's all rhythm, but that one she just could not draw iron, and Baylor needs to get another big stop here.
Baylor playing for the moment without Dariana Littlepage-Buggs, who has 3 fouls. Kennedy Williams playing with 3 fouls. She's back in, pushes it outside to Nisley, inside to Petrie. Petrie wants to bang inside on Abraham and flips it off the glass and in. Nebraska back in front by 3. Petrie has 4 points. Jana Van Geitenbeek attacking, getting downhill, circling across the paint. Kick out to Bella on the drive down the lane. She is blocked, but she is fouled by Hargrove. Hargrove's second.
Was that a foul? Or did she just knock the ball out?
Oh, maybe she just knocked it away. Let's see here.
No, it was a foul. Okay.
It is a foul. Okay, good. That is a foul, and that is the 5th on the Huskers, and it's going to send Bella to the free throw line.
Well, the officials weren't that demonstrative on the foul call, but Bella with a, she had an opportunity to shoot from over in the wing and shoot a 3, but she put the ball on the floor, try to aggressively get to the rim, but she'll be able to shoot free throws here. She, I think, only has 1 free throw in this game. Is that right?
That's right. She's 1 of 1 on a 3-point play.
Yeah, the second score for Baylor of this game. But, off that assist from Buggs, who right now, again, Baylor just surviving without Buggs, who has 3 fouls.
First free throw by Fauntleroy is good. She's got 1 more coming. Bella Fauntleroy, her dad played in a Sweet 16 for Missouri State. Her mom played in a Final Four.
Wow.
She's been in 1 Sweet 16. She would like to get back, but first things first, you got to win this one today. She hits the first, misses the second, though, and the rebound into the hands of Nisley for the Huskers. They have the ball, Nebraska does, up 40-38. Baylor playing their old Big 12 foe for the first time since 2011 when they bolted for the Big 10. Prince, an all Big 10 performer. First team has it at the top of the arc. Kicks it out to Petrie. Fake to 3. Drives inside. Oh, and she has a chance at a 3-point play. Jana cut inside. Tried to draw the charge. Instead was called for the block, and Nebraska is up by 4. They can make it 5 at the line. Jana Van Geitenbeek picks up the foul. It is her second. And it's going to send Petrie to the line, a 76% free throw shooter. Baylor took a lead at 19-8. Since then, Nebraska has outscored them 34-19 to make it 35 as she converts the free throw. Baylor is down by 5, biggest deficit of the afternoon. Here is Van Geitenbeek jogging into the front court. Middle of the floor, looks down low. Baylor playing out there with Abraham, Dunn, Fauntleroy, and Scott. Dunn comes and gets, pops a free throw line jumper, no good. And Bella Fauntleroy is bodied up beneath the bucket there by Emily Fisher, and that's Fisher with the foul, and that's going to send Bella back to the line. Well, you can see her just kind of bodying Bella, trying to knock her off there, and that's going to send Fauntleroy back to the line. And boy, Lori, it feels like a danger zone still here. There's just under 13 minutes to play in this game. Nebraska has a game-high 5-point lead. Bears don't have to get it back all at once, but they got to slice into it soon.
Yeah, a couple of Bella snuck underneath and was in great position. Misses that first free throw, and these are opportunities you've just got to convert right now when things are kind of hard. But Bella got there because she snuck underneath Fisher.
Missed both free throws. Rebound pulled in by Nebraska. Boy, Bella's been a great free throw shooter this year, but she missed them both there, and so the Cornhusker lead remains 5. Here is Prince for the Huskers, middle of the floor. Hands it off to Kennedy Williams. Bounces ahead to Prince. Bella harassing her. Here on the drive is Prince. Feeds it inside to Fisher. Back out to Nisley. Nisley, 11 first half points. She's been dangerous today. She doesn't realize that the shot clock's about to expire, and they throw it out of bounds. That's a turnover.
Good job, Bears. And it's some excellent defense that time. You got Prince to pick up her dribble. She had to get the ball out of her hands. And I'm really surprised the way that, Nisley's such a shooter, but when she let it get out of her hands too, and nobody realized where the shot clock was. So see what Baylor can do here. They've got Ella Brow back in the game.
Here is Yuting Dunn. Knocked down from behind, no whistle, and she lost it out of bounds. What did I miss there? She got bumped from behind, and there was no call. And that's going to give it back to the Cornhuskers. Let's take a look here. Here's a look at the replay. Yeah, she got bumped, inadvertent, but she got bumped. Now Prince attacking, stripped on the way up, and another foul is called on the Bears. That's Jana Van Geitenbeek's 3rd, the team's 5th, and it's going to send the Huskers to the line. That was the right call. Jana probably a little over-aggressive there, just reached all the way across to try to slap the ball out of the way and out of Prince's hands, and instead sends her to the free throw line. Appreciate you being with us here on this Friday afternoon in the NCAA tournament on the Baylor Sports Media Network and our lead station for women's basketball, Fox Sports 93.9, or the next link Courtside Cam. Also today, Lori, on Sirius XM channel 206. So nationwide, wherever you're listening, glad to have you with us. First free throw is good by Britt Prince, as is the second. And now Nebraska, with 2 minutes to play in the third, is up by 7. They have outscored the Bears 34-19 since the end of the first quarter. Here's Talia Scott, top of the arc, wants to drive, wildly gets inside, has her shot blocked emphatically by Nebraska. And right now, Lori, this Baylor offense is trying to force things. There was really not a lot there trying to force things, and Coach Dickey won't wait any longer to bring Dariana Little-Page Buggs back off the bench. Talia Scott just 6 points on 2 of 9 shooting. Baylor's starting guards today just 3 of 18 from the floor for 12 points. Van Geitenbeek lobs it in to Dunn. Minute 45 to play, third quarter. Baylor down by 7. Van Geitenbeek to Buggs, hands it back to Jana. Here's a 3 and it's good. That breaks the drought. Just Baylor's 3rd made three-pointer. Other than Yuting Dunn, the rest of the team was 0 of 13, but Jana hits it there, and the Nebraska lead is 4.
And it was just a Buggs handoff, just one of those flip plays.
Prince tries to answer with a short 2, misses. Offensive rebound by Hargrove, and she missed the putback. She's missed a few good looks today. Baylor with the board. Here's Dunn in transition, a 3, no good. Offensive rebound by Buggs. Kick out to Jana, and another look at it. Van Geitenbeek with the ball. Baylor down by 4. 15 to shoot, a minute to play in the third quarter. Jana Van Geitenbeek around his screen, looking for a teammate. Feeds Abraham. Abraham looks down low, puts it on the floor. This is dangerous. Tries a turnaround and cannot get the roll. Rebound to Prince. Boy, like Kyle Abraham, but you don't want the ball in her hands too long there as a post player, and she nearly got the mid-range jumper to fall, but it rolled off. 43 seconds to play in the third. Nebraska with the ball on a 4-point edge. Brow in there for the Bears, running point, harassing Prince. And a timeout is called by Nebraska. We will take it as well with 37 seconds to play in the third quarter. Nebraska 45, Baylor 41. You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the NCAA Tournament on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Join us April 23rd at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame in Waco for our next Lunch with the Legend, presented by Baylor Alumni Sports Outreach. Our special guest will be Hall of Fame former men's golf coach Mike McGraw as he steps into retirement. It's Thursday, April 23rd, beginning at 11:30 a.m., and tickets are available now by calling 254-710-8300. Join us as we hear from Coach Mike McGraw, presented by Baylor Alumni Sports Outreach.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
37 seconds to play in the third quarter. The Bears are down 45-41 to Nebraska. Neither team has shot well. Nebraska 34%, Baylor 30%. But the difference for Nebraska is they've been good from beyond the arc. 7 of 16, Baylor just 3 of 18, and you look, that is really the difference in this one. Certainly points off turnovers a bit of differential, but Nebraska has 18 points off of Baylor turnovers to Baylor's 10 off of their miscues. And Baylor has 14 second chance points to their 3, but those two areas kind of cancel each other out. Right now, Nebraska's ability to periodically hit a 3 from downtown and Baylor's struggles to do so are what, in my mind, has really made the difference in this game so far. And you need someone else for Baylor to step up.
Yeah, and you also just cannot leave points in a game like this, a close game. You can't leave them at the free throw line. And I know it is so difficult. It's easy for us to talk about that. So difficult when you've been playing hard. You've had to stay in a little bit longer. You may be tired when you get to the free throw line. But, Baylor finally got one of those threes to fall from Jana Van Geitenbeek off of a Bugs, backside, just turn around and just flip pass. And Jana was in perfect rhythm and straight on shooting to be able to knock that one down. But what Baylor needs here is just, additional stops. They need to get a stop here. And again, a well-executed play. And not often that you have timeouts, particularly like this one, where you have a chance to understand where you are with 37.1 seconds left to go, 14 seconds on the shot clock for Nebraska, and then what Baylor will do, assuming they get a rebound or an inbound pass.
Laura, I think it shows how much they value possessions in this game, in this tight game, that Amy Williams, Nebraska's head coach, called that timeout to save the possession. They have 2 remaining. Baylor has all 4. Out of the timeout, they play it into Prince, top of the arc, 10 to shoot. Kick in the corner to Nisley. Abraham goes flying. She steps into a mid-range jumper, misses it. Got her own rebound, tries a 3 out of the corner and missed it. Thank goodness. That would have brought their bench down. However, they chased down the offensive rebound on the left wing. 3 seconds between the clocks, late third quarter. Williams has it high up on the left side. Faces the bucket. Petrie out to set a screen. 9 to shoot, 12 to play in the third. There's a pass off of Abraham's leg and out of bounds, and that's a kicked ball, so now Nebraska can play for the last shot of the third quarter as they would reset the shot clock. It's turned off. 45-41, Nebraska with the ball in the lead. They can play for the third quarter's last shot with 10 seconds to go. The Huskers play it in from the top of the arc, right sideline, and Nisley feeds it into Williams. Williams drives to the middle of the floor, bounces to a cutting Prince, gets in close and lays it in. 4 seconds left, third quarter. They play it into Ella Brown, and the Bears will not get a shot off as we head to the fourth quarter. Nebraska with a little drive there, got Prince loose down low. Their leading scorer has matched her season average now with 16 points. And we head to the final 10 minutes of this opening round game. The Bears trail by 6. Their biggest deficit of the night, 47-41. What does the fourth quarter have in store? We'll find out next. The 2025-26 season is presented by Central National Bank. Proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Bears down by 6 as we head to the fourth on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
See for yourself why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green, along with her dedicated optometrists and staff. Receive trustworthy insights about your eye health, enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes, face, and neck areas with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Visit greeneyeassociates.com. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Hellberg Barbecue is a family-owned business started here in Waco, Texas, and proud to serve the local area. They love to cater all kinds of events, big and small. Serving Baylor and its families is one of their favorite things, and they even ship barbecue nationwide. Check them out while here in Waco or online and support one of Waco's local barbecue restaurants, Hellberg Barbecue. Salt, pepper, and a whole lot of prayer.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Well, to the fourth quarter we go. Baylor and Nebraska, opening round game here at Duke University Cameron Indoor Stadium. The winner of this game gets Duke on Sunday. The loser sees their season draw to a conclusion, and right now it's Nebraska with the lead, 47-41. Baylor, Lori, Baylor has hit since the end of the first quarter just 6 of 25 shots. Baylor had 8 field goals in the first quarter, just 6 in the 20 minutes since. And, you know, obviously the offensive flow has been a struggle as we've got later in the season. But that's still surprising. Baylor did get off to a quick start in this game, some good looks, but, boy, those have just dried up, and they have struggled to really get great looks or to hit them when they do.
Yeah, you are spot on. I mean, where you know, Baylor was able to get a little bit of something going is when Coach Nikki stuck Dariana Little-Page Buggs back in the game. You know, she just she crashes the board so hard and is just such an encourager. And that's, you know, that's where Baylor is right now. You know, they were able to get, you know, they had to take some time to let Bella and Talia come out of the game and just sit for a little bit at the end of the third quarter and take a break throughout the between quarters to get a little bit of rest and maybe some refocus again. Coach Nikki is talking to them right now. It's, you know, it's 10 minutes. It's now or never. Where Nebraska was able to get a little bit of separation. Baylor had taken a 35-30 lead, but Prince was finally able to shake defenders. You don't have Bugs on her, and was able to score a couple of baskets. You got Petrie, who was able to score and completed a three-point play as well. You know, you have to foul Prince, and she's just money from the free throw line, and then Baylor could not. They got a couple of misses from Nisley with under 30 seconds to play, but could not chase down the long rebounds. Yeah. And you know, and you could not get another shot off, but Prince was just able to immediately get to the rim for a layup with 5 seconds left.
Daniel Ramirez reminds us, Lori, our friend Daniel, our Baylor colleague and statistician for TV broadcast, says that Baylor has come back from deficits of 6 points or more 6 times this season.
Thank you, Daniel.
4 in conference play, Daniel Ramirez. Although you are not present physically here in North Carolina, your presence is realized and felt, and we appreciate that. How about, Lori? Let's make it a 7th time.
Let's have a great 10 minutes. You know, these seniors on the floor, they're ready to go.
Nebraska will have the ball to start the fourth quarter as they are playing with Williams, Prince, who takes the feed, Hargrove, Petrie, and Nisley. Give you the Baylor lineup in just a moment. Nebraska by 6 with the basketball. Prince nearly has the ball taken away by Bella Fauntleroy. She's barely able to maintain possession, give it outside to Petrie. Petrie harassed by Kyla Abraham up near midcourt. Prince with 16 points has it as she drives with 9 to the top of the arc with 8. Oh, Baylor gives her room. She steps into a 3 and knocks it down.
Oh, Kyla Abraham stepped backwards and you know, Prince was squared up.
Prince more than a 40% three-point shooter, and she hit it there. Baylor is down by a game-high 9 points. Abraham has it Top of the key, looking for Talia Scott, who fumbles it. Luckily, Bella's there to collect. This possession is really going nowhere. Jana's going to try to get it going here. She's double-teamed at the top of the arc. Finds Abraham all alone down low for the layup. They suck the defense to the perimeter, and Kyla just slipped back, but then Nebraska gets Hargrove all alone down the floor, but she's unable to clear a shot, and she angles back out. Nebraska with the ball and a 7-point lead. Baylor needs stops. 8 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this ball game. Here is Williams pushing it outside to Hargrove. 10 to shoot. Hargrove on the attack. Cut off on the baseline. Finds Nisley in the corner. She leaves the three short. Bella collects the rebound in front of Hargrove. Feeds it off to Talia Scott. Here's Bugs out ahead of the crowd. Chases down the pass. Sees a lane to the basket. Feeds it down low. Abraham there, but she misses the point-blank layup. Bugs with the rebound. Kick out to Jana. Good look at a three, and she hits it to cut the Nebraska lead to 4. With 8:20 to go, a second chance opportunity for the Bears, and Jana cashes in.
Yeah, the difference that Bugs can make by pulling down an offensive rebound and getting the basketball out to a squared-up Jana Van Geitenbeek.
Baylor has outscored them 17-5 in the second chance point category. 8 minutes to play in this ball game. Nebraska with the ball up by 4. It is Hargrove. She has it poked away by Bella. Bella now picks her back up, nearly bumps her. Shot clock at 2. They don't realize it until Leah takes the ball away. Feeds it ahead to Abraham, who blows the open layup. It's a 4-point game with 7:40 to play. Kyla Abraham got all alone in front of the crowd. Baylor found her with a pass, and she missed the layup. And then Jana is called for the bump foul, and that is going to be Jana Van Geitenbeek's 4th. Baylor has missed too many layups in this game, and hence Nebraska with the 4-point edge at 50-46.
You know, that's a tough one to catch for Kyla. She had to take 2 big steps to get up to the rim, and I think she had so much momentum going. Maybe if she were able to put the ball on the floor, she could have slowed down a little bit. That's a tough shot to make.
It was. That's a fair point.
But she just cannot let it affect her on the defensive end here.
Nebraska to Hargrove. They give it outside to Nisley. 7.5 minutes to play. It's a 4-point game. Down low to Hargrove. Bangs inside on Bella. Uses the glass and misses another one. Boy, she's got some good looks and just hasn't been able to throw them in. Here comes Ella Brow racing into the front court. Finds Talia Scott for 3, but it's short. And Petrie collects the rebound. Boy, it has just not been Talia Scott's day. She has 6 points on 2 of 10 shooting. Nebraska back the other way. 3 minutes gone in the 4th quarter. It remains a 50-46 ball game. Here's a pass right side to Hake. Retreats near the center jump circle. Bounces it ahead to Nisley. Around the screen. She wants to lean inside. Luckily, Baylor stays with her defensively. 5 to shoot. Pass to Petrie. Knocked away by Abraham, but a foul is called. Let's see if we can get a look at that. It looked like a good swat by Abraham, but instead she picks up her second. She had her hand on her. That didn't look like a foul, but she did have her hand, her right hand, not the one that blocked on Petrie's hip. Still, I think that's one you let go because Petrie was trying to sky for a bit of an errant pass. Inbound to Prince, right wing. Thought about a 3, now retreats back outside the arc. She's got it in the corner. Baylor with her defensively. Baylor's defense has been solid today, and there's another turnover off the foot of Petrie. It is stolen by Dariana Littlepage Bugs. She wants to take matters into her own hands, and she spins to the basket for the layup. Dariana Littlepage Bugs with 8 points and 8 rebounds. The Nebraska lead is 2 at 50-48 with 6:20 to play. Baylor has scored 7 straight points, but now Nebraska changed. No, they don't change that. Nebraska misses a wide open layup. That was Hake all alone, and she just could not finish. It's a 2-point game. Here is Brow cut off along the wing. Finds Bella, who throws it away into the hands of Hargrove. Another Baylor turnover. That takes away an opportunity to tie or take the lead. Now Hargrove has the ball poked away by Bella, but a foul is called on Fauntleroy. That is her second and the team's 3rd. Well,
Baylor's being very aggressive on any of the ball handlers. The ball pressure is immense right now on Nebraska. But when Baylor has its opportunities, got to be able to convert on those. But that ball pressure and denial right now is is giving them an opportunity, giving them a chance in this game to come back.
Nebraska with it. Baylor harassing them as they play it into Petrie near midcourt. She is still struggling to find someone to give it to and does so to Prince. Guarded by Brow. Prince on the drive to the top of the arc. 20 seconds to shoot. 5:44 to play. Nebraska with the ball and a 2-point lead. Prince kicks it out. Extra pass. Petrie is open for a step back three, and she hits it. That pushes the Nebraska lead back to 5. 3-point shooting has been a big difference for Nebraska today. That snaps a run of 7 straight scored by the Bears. Now Talia has the ball poked away from behind. A jump ball is called, and Baylor will maintain possession with 5:22 to play in this one. At the moment, Ella Brow, and they're running the point for the Bears with Jana Van Geitenbeek having picked up 4 fouls. On the offensive end, Baylor has Brow, Scott, Fauntleroy, Buggs, and KJ back in. Nebraska defensively has Williams, Prince, Hake, Petrie, and one other out there. We'll tell you who that is. Bozan. It's Ella Brow at the top of the arc. Attacks the bucket, slips it inside to KJ for the layup. There's good collaboration between point guard and post player from the right side of the lane to left for 2. Now Baylor trapping in the backcourt. Prince trying to get away with it, and a jump ball is called. It's going to stay with Nebraska, but the Bears will get the possession arrow back as the Bears trapped in the backcourt and really put Nebraska in a straitjacket.
You know, those are the kinds of plays, too, where you allow a 2 defenders to collapse upon somebody who's trapped over in the corner, and you let them, you don't blow the whistle on a foul, you let them be able to make a defensive play or force the offensive player to be able to call a timeout. And I wonder what they're discussing.
Yeah,
right
the officials are really discussing something here after the play. Baylor fans trying to make noise, a crowd that includes President Linda Livingstone, Director of Athletics Doug McNamee, and a solid crowd on hand here today. Let's see if we can get a look at what this replay is. Looks like they said whatever they're going to say, and it's nothing major. They put 27 seconds back on the shot clock.
Okay, I bet to say they had 29. I went, that took longer than 3 a second. Oh,
and then
Bella.
Baylor knocks the inbound pass out of bounds. Bella comes in and pokes it away from behind. Right now, Baylor is trying to demonstrate that nothing is going to come easy to Nebraska, not even simple inbounds passes.
Again, ball denial. Ball pressure, ball denial.
They're having some trouble getting it in. Baylor knocks it away again, and it's stolen by Talia Scott. Feeds it to Buggs, kicks it out to Ella Brow. Baylor down by 3 with the basketball exactly halfway through the 4th quarter. They force another turnover. Here is Brow, kicking it cross court left side to Talia Scott. Still plenty of time to shoot. 15 on the shot clock. Talia lobs it to KJ, left side. KJ needs someone to come and help her out. Needs someone, feeds it to Bella down low for the layup. Good over-the-shoulder pass, and Bella cuts the Nebraska lead to 1.
And not feeling like you had to get rid of the ball right away. The KJ showed some extreme patience that time, and she's rewarded with Bella being able to finish on her assist.
4:25 to play. Here's a pull-up by Prince, left it short. Rebound by KJ. Now Baylor with the ball and a chance to reclaim the lead. Here's Ella Brow to the right side. She's got it on the perimeter, directing traffic there, 53-52. Nebraska by 1. Baylor with the ball. Bella Fauntleroy, who has 10 points, feeds it down low to KJ, who has her shot poked away from behind. And then Nebraska is called for a foul on the rebound.
Well, it was, you had Buggs, who was just clapping her hands just then, so she was the one fouled as she pursued the ball off of the rim, off the miss from KJ, but Petrie is called with a foul, and that is her 3rd.
That is her 3rd, the team's first here in the 4th quarter, and it brings us to our media timeout. Back and forth. This game has gone 4:04 to play. Nebraska 53, Baylor 52. The 2025-26 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank, proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Bank different. Bank Central, Central National Bank. Stretch run ahead after this from Cameron Indoor Stadium on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas. Every line, weld, and seal, shaped with the pride, heat, and strength that only Texas really knows. The Tundra's built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today. Toyota. Let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for details.
Fox Sports Radio, 93.9 K230CK and KRMX HD3 Waco.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Baylor has turned up the defensive intensity here in the fourth quarter. Baylor headed into the fourth quarter down by 6. They have trailed by as many as 9, but right now it's a 1-point Nebraska lead, 53-52. And the Bears will have the ball out of the timeout. And you look, Lori, here in this fourth quarter, Baylor has held Nebraska to just 2 made field goals on 6 attempts and forced 3 turnovers. Baylor, meanwhile, is 5 of 8. Their best shooting quarter since the first quarter. In fact, they've got almost as many field goals here in the fourth quarter as they had in the second and third combined. And that's kept them in this ball game. Still work to be done. But after Nebraska took a 9-point lead, Baylor has done a nice job not letting them run away with it.
Yeah, they're outscoring Nebraska here in the fourth quarter, 11-6. And Baylor, with those 5 buckets, 5 different players have scored in this game. You had Kyla getting the scoring started for Baylor off of an assist from Jana. Jana then was rewarded with a 3 from Bugs. Bugs then scored, and so that was a quick 7-0 run for Baylor that got it within 2. Petrie got a 3, but then on consecutive possessions, KJ scored on an Ella Brow assist. Ella's played some really, really good minutes for Baylor, and then Bella got a bucket after KJ. I got to say something about KJ, the way she had missed a shot, but she held on to the basketball probably almost that full 5 seconds, and then out of the back of her eye, I think she had eyes in the back of her head that time, she managed to see Bella break to the basket. So KJ is at the free throw line for Baylor, and
she's
needless to say,
67% free throw shooter, but she hits the first to tie the game. She's got one more coming. Lori, that is her first made free throw, as she has the second rattle in and out, and Nebraska collects the rebound. Her first made free throw since the Big 12's opening game back in December against Texas Tech.
Wow.
Baylor pressuring in the backcourt again. Nebraska's able to break it, though, and now Prince races into the front court, pops a jumper, and it's no good. Offensive rebound, though, grabbed by Petrie. Now she is tied up by Bella Fauntleroy. Possession arrow favoring Baylor. Bella Fauntleroy, she wanted that basketball a little bit more on that one.
Boy, she did. And, Bella has just been zeroing in on anybody who is holding the basketball out and just making a beeline for that and not giving it up. I mean, those were 2 players who wanted the basketball. They both ended up spilling on the floor, but Bella got the call, and another bruise probably to show for it, But Bella Fauntleroy has given Baylor another score as the referees are
they're talking here.
Well, both players wanted the basketball. I mean, their seasons are on the line, and they're aggressively going to play for each other. I don't know what they're looking at.
They're going to go talk to Coach Nikki, and they're going to send them to their benches. So they are clearly looking at something here, and let's see if we can get a look at this in just a moment. And I tell you what, that was an aggressive attempt for the basketball by both players, but I didn't see anything that looked untoward. Did you?
Well, to me, they both ended up on the ground, and both were just trying to hang on to the basketball and make sure they got it. I don't know what they're looking at. Again, yes, was it aggressive? Yes, it was, by both players.
Yeah, we are going to see if we can get a look at what this is, if ESPN will show it, if there was anything. Okay, here's a look on the video board here, Lori. Here's a look.
Bella was moving hard. Okay, she gets the ball.
Has both hands on the ball. Oh, Sheepball tried. It almost looks to me like Petrie almost pulled her down.
And she was trying to move her arms away. Come on, that is not anything right there. Not at this point in the game. You tie the ball up.
That to me looks like two players fighting hard.
Yeah, now Bella's arm went flying out because she was flying down.
Yeah, Bella and Petrie, and it almost looked to me like if there was an aggressive move in there, it was Petrie grabbing her arm after the ball was knocked away, but I don't think that's anything either.
I don't either. Come on, this is, again, with less than 4 minutes to play. Both teams are playing so hard because it's whoever loses this game, it's the end of their season.
Score tied at 53 with 3:48 to go. That's how razor thin the margin is here in this one, and they continue to talk things through here. You know, I think there should be a little bit of recognition that as long as something is not over the top, fighting hard that's kind of to be expected in a game like this.
Yes.
This magnitude. And let's see if we can get a read here. Well, I thought he was starting to go to the microphone. The officials are taking their time here. Coaches, both benches, looking, watching. They're still talking it through, the officials. And again, it looked like two players fighting hard for the rebound. And now they're going to tell the official score something, Lori. The official score is being told something. I think this may benefit Baylor. Judging by the bench's reaction here. Here we go. Flagrant one on Nebraska. Petrie grabbed Bella's arm there at the end, and I guess that's what it is.
Well, Bella reacted, that's for sure.
And that's going to give Talia Scott a pair of free throws here with a game tied at 53, and then Baylor will have possession. That is huge. So Baylor gets the basketball, and not only that, gets a flagrant foul called on Petrie. That is Petrie's fourth foul now. She's a big player for them, but that's her fourth. The team's second. Now, why are they taking so long to give Talia the basketball? All right, now they're going to give her the basketball, and she's going to shoot the technical here. It is up, and it's good. She pretends to give her teammates a high five, even though there's no teammates there to keep her rhythm going. One more coming. Baylor is in front by one. Baylor is in front by two. Talia Scott, who has had a tough game, 2 of 10 shooting, but she goes to the line and calmly knocks down both technicals. Now, Lori, this is a precious opportunity to open up a 2-score lead with 3:45 to play. Can the Bears execute with their original starters on the floor? Nearly a turnover. Kennedy Williams cut in front of the feed on the left wing. Couldn't chase it down, though, along the side, so Baylor's going to keep it with 3:41 to play. Up by 2, 55 to 53. The Bears have scored the game's last 7 points and 14 of the last 17. Bella hooks it in to Buggs on the left wing. Buggs scoops it out to Jana Van Geitenbeek. To the middle of the floor, 3.5 to play. Scott comes and takes the feed, wants to put it on the floor. She does, drives inside, cut off on the baseline, sends it out. Jana Van Geitenbeek with 9 to shoot. Top of the arc with 6, with 5, feeds it to a cutting Buggs, who's fouled on her way to the bucket. Free throws are coming. Petrie is fouled out.
Extreme patience for Baylor. I mean, nobody panicked with it. Even Talia saw, I don't have a baseline play to make. I'm going to come back out, get it to KJ. KJ gets it to Jana. Jana's able to work some screening action from Buggs. Buggs breaks away, gets fouled, gets to the free throw line. And here we go.
Buggs, 61% from the line this year. Baylor at 68% on the day. Buggs, the double-double queen, the only player in the Big 12 to average a double-double this year, has 8 points and 8 rebounds today. Kyla Abraham will check in. Probably will be for Buggs. Yep, it'll be for Buggs to give her, well, maybe not. No, she's going to check in for KJ. KJ gave the Bears some good fourth quarter minutes.
Sure
she has
did.
3 points, Lori, 7 rebounds and an assist. And what a big assist that was to Bella Fauntleroy earlier. Nebraska will bring Petra Bozan back in off the bench after Petrie fouled out. It's a 2-point Baylor lead with 3:21 to play, 55-53. 2 big free throws for the senior, Dariana Littlepage Buggs. The first rattles home. She's got one more coming. One more for Buggs. Can she make it a 2-possession game? No, it's no good. Rebound is grabbed by Hargrove. So it's a 3-point Baylor lead, 56-53 with 3:15 to play. Here's Williams pushing it to Hake, middle of the floor, and hooks it to Prince. Prince is their leading scorer with 19 points, feeds it out to Hake. Buggs on her defensively. Now it's Williams taking the straight line pass across the top of the arc and gives it to Hargrove. Up top to Prince. She's their playmaker. She wants to drive with 5 to shoot with 4. Tries a tough fall away, and she's bailed out with a foul on Talia Scott. Talia Scott just kind of swiped down somewhat needlessly there, and that's going to send Prince, an outstanding free throw shooter, to the line, the nation's 6th best. Not a chance she misses one of those. And she goes to the line. It's a 3-point Baylor lead. We're under 3 minutes to go now. 94% on the year, and she hits the first. 5 of 5 from the line today, 6 of 15 from the field is Prince, the first team All Big Ten performer. Sophomore year, expect big things ahead for her in Lincoln. One more coming, and it also is good. She hit them both as KJ will return. Baylor kind of going with offensive, defensive substitutions right now. KJ checks back in. Kyla out there on defense, but now KJ back in on offense. It's a 1-point Baylor lead, 56-55. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to play in this one. Buggs, top of the arc, to the top of the key. Inches her way inside, tries a tough follow-away, bang! Dariana Littlepage Buggs knocks down the tough follow-away. She's got 11 points and 8 boards. The lead is back to 3 again.
We're just going to call her KD.
Here is Prince, cut off by KJ. She has to feed it outside to Hake. Angling left side. Hargrove fakes a 3. Cuts to the basket and misses the runner. Buggs collects her 9th rebound. And she's called for a travel, giving it back to the Huskers with 2:18 to play.
Yeah, she just got caught up and just could not get the ball out of her hands before that other foot came down. But you know what? I am just glad that as Nebraska went in with Hargrove and Buggs stepped in there and made some contact. So we're just going to have to play another big defensive play here.
Here's Prince, straight line drive to the bucket. Oh, her shot's blocked by Abraham, but a touch foul is called. That is Kyla's 3rd, and Baylor over the limit. Nebraska will be shooting the penalty for the final 2:14. Baylor still has, Nebraska still has 1 to give. And again, you're sending one of the nation's best free throw shooters to the line.
Well, you know what Nebraska can do because they have such a great free throw shooter in Prince is just send her inside every time and see if you can get her to the free throw line.
She splashes in the first. One more coming. Yeah, not the player you want to send to the line. I mean, 94% is that's crazy. I mean, I think what we've seen with Talia Scott at 90% has been pretty ridiculously good this year. She's at 94%. Oh, the second one rattled out, but then fell back home. It is a 1-point Baylor lead. Baylor with possession, 2:10 to play. It's Buggs, top of the arc, handing it off to Bella. Here's Talia Scott off the screen. Does she have a big shot in her? Knifes inside, she's fouled. Free throws are coming.
Boy, Baylor has not been able to get Talia Scott really inside very much. And Baylor kind of ran the same kind of play to her as Nebraska did with Prince. You've got to get her going downhill. Is that on Williams?
It is her 4th. And now Baylor will be shooting the penalty the rest of the way. Talia Scott at the line where she is 4 of 6 today. First free throw up, and it's good. One more coming. Even on a day when her shot is not there, Talia Scott, 2 of 10 from the floor, 0 of 7 from beyond the arc, continues to be a weapon at the free throw line. Second is up, she hit them both. Baylor has held Nebraska without a field goal for 3.5 minutes. Can you keep that going here? 2:02 to play. Inbound to Hake. Then Geitenbeek applying pressure in the backcourt as we're under 2 minutes to go. 3-point Baylor lead. Nebraska, a chance to pull to within one or tie. It's Hake. Angling it ahead to Nisley. Feeds it across to Prince. Prince has Abraham on her. Wants to drive. Gets a step on her. Drives right to the bucket and lays it in. 100 seconds to go. It's a 1-point Baylor lead. The Bears have the basketball. 60-59. Baylor in front. Jana Van Geitenbeek ahead to Bella Fauntleroy. Bella high on the right side. Bugs fighting through a screen, is fouled. And free throws will be forthcoming. Baylor is 16 of 23 from the line today. And here in the fourth quarter, Baylor is 6 of 8. And Bugs will go to the line. Dariana Littlepage Bugs, 11 points, 9 boards today. She's 1 of 2 from the line. First free throw is good. She's got one more coming. Trying to push the lead to 3 with under 1.5 minutes to go here in Durham. Second one is up, and it also is good. Bugs, the senior, calmly hits them both. It's 62-59. Baylor trapping in the backcourt again. Nisley having some trouble. Plays it into Prince. Prince in the backcourt now as Bugs backs off, and they're going to let him walk it across the midcourt stripe. Prince directs traffic. Fires it ahead to Nisley. Nisley guarded by Scott. Hands it off. Prince around a screen, and an offensive foul is called on the Huskers. A moving screen set by Hargrove. Her third, team's fifth, and it's Baylor basketball with 1:14 to go.
That's another positive thing for Talia Scott to feel good about. You made a good play, you switched, and that ended up just turning into a moving screen for Baylor. Now taking care of the basketball, taking time off the clock, getting a good look at the basket, or if you're fouled, get to the free throw line and knock them down.
Baylor with the ball up 3, 1:14 to go. Points here don't get the job done, but they make it very difficult for Nebraska. 1:08 to go. Here's Talia Scott off a screen, but Jana's going to hold on to it. 20 seconds to shoot. Then Geitenbeek finds Talia Scott, sets her feet for 3, but it's no good. Offensive rebound chased down by Bugs. And the Bears have it, and they'll call a timeout with 57 seconds to go. Talia Scott got a fantastic look at a 3, was just a little bit long, but Dariana Littlepage Bugs, who now has a double-double, claimed a monster offensive rebound, and the Bears get a fresh 20.
You know, she was the only one pursuing the ball on the backside. That means that Bugs was just zoned in and knowing where the ball was going to pop off the rim if that didn't go in. And she's able to take those long strides with those long legs, pull in the basketball, get it back to Jana, and then Coach Nicky calls a quick timeout. And see what Baylor could do with 20 seconds on the shot clock. With 57 seconds left in this basketball game, Baylor up by 3, 62-59.
Here's the reset, Lori. Possession arrow favors Baylor. Both teams are shooting the penalty the rest of the way. Jana Van Geitenbeek has 4 fouls for the Bears. For Nebraska, Hake, Williams, and Hargrove all have 4. And again, any points here for the Bears make it a 2-possession game with under 1 minute to go. And another timeout has been called here. I believe that is the case. Teams are about to break the huddle and then headed back. And now the officials are talking to the scorekeeper. Still haven't seen another timeout being called, but we do have a timeout here longer. We will keep it here as well. Up 62-59. Taking a look, both teams call, Baylor called another timeout. They stretched it. There you go. They stretched it to a 60.
I got you.
They stretched it to a 60.
I'm about to say, I don't think Coach Nicky would do that.
No. So you've got 2 timeouts remaining for both teams. Both teams shooting the penalty. And, boy, they're really taking their time to make sure they get a good play. Ideally, Lori, I think you would love to drain some clock. But by the same token, points, any kind of points here are monster. And I don't think you waste time for the sake of wasting time here. You try to get a good shot, and if you can do it inside of probably 7 or 8 seconds on the shot clock, all the better.
Right, and ball security here. There's no lazy passes. You've just got to be solid in your offensive execution here.
Baylor has been good here in the fourth quarter when they needed to be. Season on the line, they've outscored Nebraska 21-12. It'll be Bella to play it in. Original starters on the floor for the Bears. Bella having some trouble, feeds it in. Oh, and she stepped on the sideline. She stepped across the sideline, and that gives it to Nebraska. Nebraska was harassing the Bears and making it tough, and they forced the turnover. And just like that, after all that, Nebraska has the ball with a chance to tie. 57 seconds left. Boy, turnovers have not been a problem for the Bears. Just 2 in the first 9 minutes of this fourth quarter. But that's a big one right there. Well, we didn't think it was going to be easy, Lori. Inbound to Prince. Nebraska with the ball. Baylor up by 3. It is Prince to the middle of the floor. Feeds it to Nisley. 1 at a 3. Can't get it. Throws it away. She tried to fling it inside, and Abraham knocked it away. It's stolen by Talia Scott. 15 seconds between the clocks, under 40 seconds to go. Baylor with the ball after forcing the turnover. Talia Scott, middle of the floor. Can she hit a big bucket here? 15 seconds to shoot. Between the circles, harassed by Hake, dribbling away some clock, under 10 to play. Talia on the drive, gets inside, lays it in with 22 seconds left. Talia Scott gives the Bears a 2-possession lead, draining the shot clock and laying it in on a night her shot had abandoned her. You still want her in closing time, Lori, and she just put the Bears up by 5.
Again, I think that Talia Scott, regardless of the difficulty shooting the basketball today, she has made some plays here in the fourth quarter. She's hit her free throws. She picked up a big moving screen a moment ago on the charge call, and then she just drains clock. That's the first time we've seen her have a little bit of a lane. I mean, an actual driving lane. Nebraska's really cut that off today, but one extra step ahead today for Talia Scott, and that was a big shot from the left hand off the glass, hitting the ground. Big moment for Baylor to open up a 5-point lead.
Lori, Baylor was just 6 of 25 on field goals in the second and third quarter. Here in this fourth quarter, they're 7 of 11. They've hit 5 of their last 6 with the season on the line.
Yeah,
and now Nebraska called a timeout. They're going to come out with just 1 remaining.
All right, well, you look at that, this fourth quarter, 7 of 11, so that's 63%. We're back to play.
They're about to play it in here with the shot clock off and 22 seconds remaining. They play it in. Prince is going to attack the bucket quickly and lay it in to make it a 1-possession game. 64-61, now 17.9 seconds to go. Lori, she got a lane to the basket, and while you wouldn't have liked it to have been that easy, you also don't want to foul either. And so Baylor will have the ball with 1 timeout remaining, 17.9 seconds to go. Nebraska, you would think, would try for a quick turnover and then foul.
Well, you know, that put the ball in Prince's hands, and who was the only defender over there? It was Dariana Little-Page-Buggs, who has 4 fouls, and Buggs just had to let her go. But Baylor up by 3 with 17.9 seconds left. Coach Nicky takes another timeout. Of course, Baylor will advance the basketball, just as Nebraska had.
So both teams have a timeout. So if Baylor has any trouble getting in, Nebraska obviously kind of, I think, caught the Bears off guard with that pressure. I don't say caught the Bears off guard. They just really executed the pressure well.
Yeah, they did.
So you have a timeout if you need it here. 64-61. Baylor with the ball in the lead. 17.9 seconds left. It'll be Fauntleroy to play it in from the end of the Baylor bench. She'll have her fellow starters out there. Van Geitenbeek, Buggs, Scott, and KJ. Nebraska will put Weaver, they bring in Maupin off the bench, 6'4", to apply some pressure. And they play it into Talia Scott, immediately fouled by Prince, just 0.7 of a second. Drained from the clock, and now Talia Scott will go to the line for 2 huge free throws.
Boy, that was all about good execution to be able to get that basketball right into the hands of the player you needed it to. and that is Talia Scott.
That's Britt Prince's first foul. Talia Scott. Either one of these free throws will make it a 2-possession game with the shot clock dark and 17.2 seconds remaining. First free throw by Talia is no good. Too strong. She's got one more coming with 17.2 left. Second one is up. It's good. It's a 4-point game. And Nebraska will burn their final timeout. 17.2 seconds to go. Nebraska, they're going to try to score a quick bucket once again.
And you know who's going to take the shot, and who will have the ball in her hands, and it's Prince. But you also cannot leave other players as well, because you've got some shooters out there with Nebraska. We'll see what they plan to do.
Prince has 27 now of their 61 points. She has been their offense today. She has 27. There are 3 Huskers in double figures. Nisley with 11 and Petrie, who's fouled out, with 10. Baylor, 4 in double figures. Balance scoring, Buggs and Scott with 13 apiece. Van Geitenbeek with 12 and Fauntleroy with 10. It's not done yet, but there have been heroes in this game. Lori Jana Van Geitenbeek, 10 of her 12 points in the second half. Talia Scott has had to work hard for her points. Just 1 of 6 shooting, but she has 9 at second half points. Buggs, 9 points and 6 boards in the second half. So, you've kind of had to scratch and claw and take a couple steps back, then get a couple steps forward, but they've got it done here in the second half. Now they've just got to close. 65-61 with 17.2 seconds remaining. Starters out there defensively for the Bears with Abraham in place of KJ. Nebraska will have Hake play it in from the right sideline. Hake feeds it in to Prince. Baylor's going to let her get it. Jana picks her up defensively. 15 seconds left. Prince draining a little clock. Gets the ball back from Maupin. Under 10 to go. Now she drives to the bucket, throws up a wild shot and misses. Maupin with the offensive rebound, and she's fouled on her way up. With 5.5 seconds to go, it remains a 2-possession game, and Maupin will go to the free throw line. She's a good free throw shooter, 78%, and she claimed the offensive rebound. But Lori, I like the way Baylor handled that defensively. They didn't try anything crazy, but they didn't make it easy for Prince to get a look, and she drained 12 seconds off the clock. Maupin's first free throw is short, and it's still a 2-possession game with 5.5 seconds to go. You either got to get a rebound or get the ball in. Maupin's second free throw is up, and it's good. And Coach Nikki calls her final timeout, and Baylor is going to play it in on their side of the floor, which is good now, Lori, with 5.5 seconds to go. Baylor is in good position. You got to get it in, and even if for some reason you don't, Nebraska still has to go the length for a 3. But just get it in, and things move very, very much in your favor.
That is true. Well, Ella Brow, I think, is coming into this game. You know who Baylor wants to get the basketball to, and that's in the hands of Talia Scott. But you also want to get it successfully in, because Nebraska's going to sell out as much as they possibly can. Who knows if they may even do something as foul someone before the shot clock or before the clock even starts.
And right now Baylor has a pretty solid group of free throw shooters out there, and Coach Nikki is going to spread them up all the way down the floor. Now, I'm not guessing they're going to throw it into the backcourt, but you're going to get Brow and Buggs. You're going to bring them a little closer here. They can at least get a running start. And 6'4" Petra Bozan, 6'3" Petra Bozan is going to guard the inbounder Bella. Baylor has to get it in. Bella looking. Oh, and Talia Scott is knocked to the floor and fouled by Prince. That will work. That will work for the Bears. It's a 3-point Baylor lead. Baylor 65, Nebraska 62 with 5.5 seconds to go. And now Talia Scott is going to the line. I cannot imagine that is what Nebraska was trying to do.
Well, again, they were trying to, I think, conserving time. I mean, there's only 5.5 seconds left.
But I'm just surprised Talia's the one, the 90% free throw shooter.
Because Baylor, you don't have any choice.
Either one of these free throws makes it a 2-possession game, and the first one is good. 66-62 Bears with 5.5 seconds to go. Now Coach Nicky is going to drop back 4 defenders. All you really got to do here is not foul.
Yes, please don't.
Yes. Second free throw is up, and it is good, and it's a 5-point Baylor lead. 5.5 seconds left. Nebraska plays it into Prince. She tries a 3. It's no good. Ball game over. Baylor moves on. 67-62 the final. A spirited fourth quarter when things looked bleak for the Bears. Gets the job done today. The Bears move on to face Duke on Sunday. And the seniors came through in a big way in this one, Lori. Again, you look at this. How about the fourth quarter? You've got Kirsten Johnson, 3 points, 2 rebounds, a huge assist. Jana Van Geitenbeek, 3 points and assist. Dariana Little-Page-Buggs, 7 points, 5 rebounds. All of these in the fourth quarter. Bella Fauntleroy, 2 points in the fourth quarter and some fantastic defense. Coach Nicky stuck with the seniors for most of this fourth quarter, and they got it done.
You know, they stepped up big, and you know, you look up and down. This is more of a quarter that you generally see from Baylor. You saw nothing of that except for that last part of the first quarter. Man, those second and third quarters were rough. When you look at Dariana Little-Page-Buggs in foul trouble, it just disrupts Baylor's rhythm.
I see Jalen Richard Harris, Baylor's assistant coach, down on the floor. She's going to join us. Her post-game comments are brought to you by Alliance Bank, your Central Texas business bank. And Coach Jay, thanks so much for joining us here. I'm sure your heart's still beating a little fast. Take us inside what the Bears were able to do in that fourth quarter when they were down by 9 points to get it done here against the Huskers.
We were able to, you know, muscle up and play Baylor brand basketball. You know, we got to get our starting 5 back in the game and play the way we know we can play. And you know, just be tough and not foul. We took an emphasis on making sure that we apply pressure without fouling.
Well, you were able to do so, and that was a wrinkle we saw, I thought, a lot. Some backcourt trapping and pressing. Not that Baylor never traps, but I felt like we saw it a lot more today than we normally do. Is that fair to say?
Yes, absolutely. It's something we've been working on. We hadn't had to use it in a lot of games, but I'm glad we were prepared to execute it today.
Coach Jalen, it's great to have you on the post-game show, especially after a W and this team is moving on. How about, you know, Talia Scott with the momentum changing in the fourth quarter, being able to get to the free throw line and make some big shots, get a big charge, and just play so well to be able to help carry this team.
Talia is a baller, you know. When the game's on the line, she's the kid who you want the ball in her hands no matter how she's performed throughout. So very proud in the way she was able to finish the game for us. We knew without a doubt if she's at the free throw line and the game's on the line, she's going to knock them down.
And then Buggs in foul trouble, but boy, when she is in the game, what a difference maker. It's really the glue for this team.
Yes, Buggs is our heartbeat. She's our pulse, all right? We play for Buggs. We play through Buggs. Even when she was on the bench, she still was able to bring her energy. We knew when she got back in the game that she was going to show up and be herself.
Well, Coach Jay, here's the stat of the game. Baylor was plus 17 in the 24 minutes she was on the floor, and you're moving on. How about a rematch with Duke? It's like Paris revisited, and y'all earned that opportunity.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I think that's crazy to start the season off in Paris against Duke and now to see them again. NCAA wants a good popcorn show, so we're here, we're ready, we're excited.
Well, Coach Jay, appreciate you joining us after this big win. Congratulations. Go enjoy it with your team.
Thank you. Sick 'em Bears.
Sick 'em Bears. Coach Jalen Richard Harris joining us here on the post-game show following a 67-62 victory here in Durham, North Carolina. Baylor outscores Nebraska 26-15 in the fourth quarter after scoring just 22 points in the second and third quarters combined. And it's Baylor and Duke for a chance to go to the Sweet 16 on Sunday. Our first Central Credit Union postgame show is coming up. And next we'll have stats, scores, and more coming up from Durham following a dramatic 67-62 Baylor win here on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Do you want to earn points while cheering on your favorite Baylor teams? Join Baylor Bold Rewards. Track your attendance on the Baylor Sports app across athletic events and earn points towards prizes and experiences. Download the Baylor Sports app or register online today at BaylorBoldRewards.com and start earning your points today.
Hi, I'm Jim Turner at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. As we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, I want to say thank you to all of our customers. Our dealership is more than a business to me. That's why when you come see us for a reliable new Chevy or award-winning service, we treat you like family. Come see our new collision center, now open to serve you even better for many years to come. Enjoy the game, then come see us at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. Together, let's drive.
Looking for a fun night out with family or friends? Head to Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark and catch Baylor baseball this season. Single game tickets are on sale now, starting at just $6 for general admission seating. Or stop by the ballpark for $2 Tuesdays, featuring discounted concession items, plus $2 off general admission tickets. Grab your seats now at BaylorBears.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Baylor Ballpark.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Never deposit someone else's money into your bank account. Scammers will send you money or overpay you and then ask you to refund a portion of the money back to them. This is a scam.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
This has been live coverage of Baylor women's basketball. Now it's time for the First Central Credit Union post-game show. Brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Central National Bank, proud season sponsor of Baylor women's basketball. Nissan, innovation that excites. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Stay tuned as we break down the game. Listen to highlights, talk with Coach Colin, players, and more. All coming up on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Well, back here from the Crow's Nest, where tensions were high at Cameron Indoor Stadium. A tight ball game today, back and forth. A game that saw Baylor lead by as many as 11 and trail by as many as 9. That game-high 9-point deficit came early in the fourth quarter. But the Bears closed the game on a spirited run after Nebraska took a 50-41 lead. Baylor outscored them 26-12 the rest of the way, en route to a win that sees the season keep on going. Baylor is now 25-8 on the year with the win over the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and they will play the third-seeded Duke Blue Devils on Sunday. Time still TBD. We welcome you back into the First Central Credit Union postgame show. First Central Credit Union, everything we do for you. This was a game that was starting to look like some of the others that we've seen lately for this team. Baylor continued to struggle on offense, scoring, not to belabor the point, but in the second and third quarter, Baylor hit just a combined 6 field goals, and it honestly wasn't looking very good. When Nebraska splashed in a 3 in the first minute of the fourth quarter to go up 9, things were a little bit rocky, but then that's when Baylor put on that run that we discussed in the fourth quarter. Baylor was 7 of 11 from the field, 1 of 3 from beyond the arc, and 11 of 14 from the free throw line. Baylor shot 79% from the line in the fourth quarter and got it done with the season very much on the line. Let's take a look at some of the stats in this one. Baylor actually opened up a 19-8 lead in the first quarter and led 19-11 at the end of one. But then the offensive woes began. Baylor was outscored by 9, 17-8 in the second quarter. And then by 5 in the third quarter at 19-15. Nebraska scored the last points of the third, the first points of the fourth quarter to open up that 50-41 lead. But then the Bears proceeded to really just put the clamps down on Nebraska. Baylor applied backcourt pressure that really was a momentum shift in this ball game. In fact, Baylor forced 6 Nebraska turnovers in the fourth quarter, and in the second half scored 12 points off of Nebraska turnovers. So you look, Nebraska took just 12 shots in the fourth quarter, hit just 4, and Baylor forced 6 turnovers. So that was obviously very, very pivotal in this game. And you had Talia Scott scored 9 fourth-quarter points. Dariana Littlepage-Buggs scored 7. And even though KJ, Jana Van Guyten, and Bella Fauntleroy didn't have as big a point totals, they were huge in the fourth quarter. They played a combined 20 minutes in the ball game, and in the fourth quarter, I beg your pardon, played some big defense, forced a number of those turnovers en route to the win. In fact, you look at the in the fourth quarter here in this one, Baylor with multiple steals there en route to the win. In fact, again, let me pull that up here in the fourth quarter. Steals for the Bears in the fourth quarter. You had Bella Fauntleroy with 2, Talia Scott and Dariana Littlepage-Buggs and Kyla Abraham each with 1, and a number of jump balls as well that really just thwarted the momentum that Nebraska seemed to have. And then a key stat in this game, Dariana Littlepage-Buggs, who dealt with foul trouble. She finished with 3 fouls, but was only able to play 24 minutes. However, in those 24 minutes, she amassed a double-double, her 13th of the year, 13 points and 11 rebounds. And Baylor's plus-minus, that's how much does Baylor outscore or is outscored by a team when that player is on the floor? Well, in a game that Baylor won by 5, 67-62, Baylor outscored Nebraska by 17 points in the 24 minutes that Dariana Littlepage-Buggs was on the floor. It's not always about the huge stat line with her. It is about about her impact on the game. I beg your pardon. And she had a monster impact on this game today. As you can see, and I beg your pardon, that's actually her 14th double-double of the 2025-26 season. This is the First Central Credit Union postgame show. First Central Credit Union, everything we do for you. Lori is down in the locker room. We're going to get the thoughts of one of the players who experienced this game here a little bit later on. We'll also look at individual stats and get you ready. We'll revisit that game against Duke in Paris all the way back at the beginning of the season because Baylor gets a rematch with them here on Sunday. Their run is not done as Baylor moves on today with a 67-62 victory over Nebraska. This means that Baylor has now won at least one game in 22 straight NCAA tournaments. That is the second longest streak in the nation behind UConn. 67-62 the final. The Bears win today, and we'll be back with more on the First Central Credit Union postgame show after this here on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004. Bluebonnet is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't click on links in emails and text messages. Scammers send emails and texts that look real, saying there's a problem with your account or your order. Don't click. Don't do it, ever. Instead, go directly to the company's website and log in there.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Have you been to the new location of Green Eye Associates yet? You'll still receive the same award-winning service and excellent care from Dr. Green and her dedicated optometrists and staff. But now conveniently located in Woodway, right off of Highway 84. Come see the expanded optical showroom and be sure to ask about innovative services like IPL treatments for dry eye symptoms and the brand new sports vision technology. Green Eye Associates, the official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Serving Texas since 2007, Magnolia Realty is a full-service brokerage led by expert industry knowledge and a commitment to community. With kindness and integrity at the forefront, every agent is equipped to help you navigate the market and make the real estate journey your own. Whether buying or selling, feel supported with an award-winning agent at your side from first offer to contract and close. Magnolia Realty serves cities including Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Temple. Learn more at magnoliarealty.com.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
The Bears are moving on. This season continues after a dramatic 67-62 win today over Nebraska. One possession game in the final minute, but Talia Scott hits a huge bucket for the Bears. It comes with inside of 30 seconds to go to give Baylor a 2-possession lead, and then she knocks down a pair of free throws after Nebraska had cut it to 3 with 5.5 seconds to go to push it to that final score of 67-62 as we welcome you back in to the First Central Credit Union postgame show. First Central Credit Union, everything we do for you. Let's take a look at the scoring in this game. First, the team numbers, and got to say, we have friends who watch on the Next Link Courtside cam, and our friend Bobby said hats off to the Huskers, and you do have to give your hats off to the Huskers. That was a spirited effort today, and a Nebraska team that had gotten off to an 11-0 start this year and then struggled in Big Ten play really brought it today, and they had the Bears on the ropes, and Baylor was able to turn up the defensive intensity to keep the season going. But it was a great effort, and boy, some of their stars like Britt Prince played like a star today. She led all scorers with 27 points, but the Bears had great balance with 4 players scoring in between 10 and 15 points. Let's take a look at the team numbers in this one. Baylor outshot Nebraska 37 to 34%. Baylor 21 of 57, Nebraska 20 of 59. But Nebraska, good 3-point shooting, really had them kept them not just in this game but leading for much of it. Nebraska was 9 of 21 from beyond the arc, 43%. Baylor just 4 of 21, 19%. Both teams good at the free throw line. Nebraska 13 of 15, that's 87%. And the Bears 21 of 29, 72%. But with the game on the line in the fourth quarter, Baylor converted 11 of 14 free throws. Turnovers ended up being pretty close. Baylor 16, Nebraska 15, although Nebraska outscored Baylor 23 to 18 off of those free throws. Baylor a strong edge on the glass, 43 rebounds to Nebraska's 33, including 17 to 11 on the offensive glass, and Baylor outscored them by 11 in the second chance points category, 17 to 6. Baylor led for just under 23 minutes in this game. Nebraska led for just under 15 points in this game, and honestly, if I'm being completely honest, it felt like they led for more than 15 minutes. But 14:43 is the official total in this one. A game that saw 5 ties and 8 lead changes. Nebraska individual numbers. They were paced by Britt Prince, their starting point guard, a first-team All-Big Ten performer. She played like it today. She had 27 points on 8 of 19 shooting, including 8 of 8 from the line, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. 11 points for Logan Nisley, 11 points on 4 of 10 shooting. She had 8 rebounds and assist. And then Jordan Petrie finished with 10 points. I beg your pardon, Jessica Petrie finished with 10 points before she fouled out. They were paced in rebounds by Maya Hargrove. She had 11, and assists by Williams. Kennedy Williams had 6 off the bench for her mom, Amy Williams' Nebraska Cornhuskers team. For the Bears, they were led by Talia Scott, and it was a game that was not her best by any stretch, and yet with the game on the line, she got everything done that the team needed her to do. She finishes with 15 points on 3 of 12 shooting. She was 3 of 4 from inside the arc, 0 of 8 from downtown, but she was 9 of 12 from the free throw line and hit a bucket and 2 free throws, each of which gave the Bears a 2-possession lead, once with under 30 seconds to go and once with under 5 seconds. Once with under 6 seconds to go. 13 points and 11 rebounds for Dariana Littlepage Buggs en route to her 14th double-double of the season. Baylor outscored Nebraska by 17 points in the 24 minutes that she was on the floor. Jenna Van Geitenbeek, 12 points, 4 assists. She was 3 of 11 from the field, but scored 10 of her 12 points in the second half. Baylor really needed them then, and she just kept kind of pecking away at things there offensively for the Bears. Bella Fauntleroy, 10 points and 7 rebounds on 4 of 9. Shooting after that, Uting Dunn, 6 points, 2 of 5 shooting. Kyla Abraham, 6 points, and 5 rebounds for the Bears. Kirsten Johnston, 3 points and 7 big rebounds. She quietly had a big game on the board for the Bears. Ella Brow played 13 minutes. Kaylin Nelms played 7. Nelms had 2 points, and Brow didn't score. However, when you look at what Baylor did when Brow was on the floor, in her 13 minutes, Baylor outscored Nebraska by 2 points. That was big for her to hold the line when Jana Van Geitenbeek had some foul trouble and was getting a breather in this one. 67-62 is the final score. We'll take a timeout and come back with more here from Cameron Indoor Stadium. The Bears will move on today following a 67-62 victory over Nebraska. And this is Baylor women's basketball in the NCAA tournament on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Hey Baylor fans, Baylor softball season is currently underway. Come be a part of the action at Getterman Stadium all season.
Okay.
Single game tickets. With general admission tickets starting at just $8, there's no better way to enjoy elite college softball. And if you're coming with friends or family, group tickets are available for $5 each. Get your Baylor softball single game tickets now at BaylorBears.com/tickets.
Slam Dunk benefits at First Central Credit Union. Tip off with free checking that pays cash, less fees, great rates, quick local loans, easy online applications, a free mobile app, secure remote control cards, 24/7 deposits, and more services at our ATMs, and a free new member t-shirt. Join today at firstcentralcu.com. We're your team. Everything we do for you.
Eligibility and application requirements apply. Member NCUA.
Hi, I'm Jim Turner at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. As we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, I want to say thank you to all of our customers. Our dealership is more than a business to me. That's why when you come see us for a reliable new Chevy or award-winning service, we treat you like family. Come see our new collision center, now open to serve you even better for many years to come. Enjoy the game, then come see us at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. Together, let's drive.
Hellberg Barbecue is a family-owned business started here in Waco, Texas, and proud to serve the local area. They love to cater all kinds of events, big and small. Serving Baylor and its families is one of their favorite things, and they even ship barbecue nationwide. Check them out while here in Waco or online and support one of Waco's local barbecue restaurants, Hellberg Barbecue. Salt, pepper, and a whole lot of prayer.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
We are back here at Cameron Indoor Stadium after a hard-fought game. Goes the way of the Bears, 67-62, the final score. Baylor now 59-20 all-time in the NCAA tournament and have moved on, advanced in the tournament for the 22nd consecutive year. That's the second longest streak in the nation, behind UConn with 31. The seniors stepped up big time in the fourth quarter. We are going to hear from one of them in just a minute here as Lori visits with Kirsten Johnson. And Van, you can just let us know when we've got that ready, and we will hear from her. It was great to hear from Jalen Richard Harris, assistant coach for the program, on the postgame show, talking about the job the seniors did in the fourth quarter. And that really was everything in this game, and the Bears did a couple things really well. They attacked the bucket, and they were able to get to the free throw line, and the defense really picked up. They really stepped up the defensive intensity. We saw more pressing in the fourth quarter than we generally do, leading to 6 Nebraska turnovers there in the fourth quarter. Well, we've got that ready to go. Let's hear now from Kirsten Johnson, the Baylor senior, with 7 rebounds today in the win over Nebraska.
You know, it was a tough start, KJ, but this team never folded. What allowed y'all to stay as focused as you were through some adversity and Nebraska building a 9-point lead?
Just one.
To come back.
Yeah, Nebraska's a great team, great guards, great team. You know, we had to make it about us. I think us as seniors, we had to step up, and I think that's something we did. We took pride. We didn't want it to be our last game. So, no, building each other up. You know, some of us had a hard day today, but I mean, it's all right. That's what we're a team for. We have each other's back, you know, but we knew we had to lock in and defend and really guard our yard and help each other to get this dub.
We're in a happy locker room, though, maybe a relieved locker room here in Durham, North Carolina, with Kirsten Johnson and KJ. But what a fourth quarter, though. Y'all were dialed in, especially defensively, which gave you extra possessions. Yeah. So what was the message from Coach Nikki and probably your defensive coordinator, Tony Green, as well?
Yeah, no, we just got to play with some pride. We got to play with some heart. Like, we didn't have none, you know. We were just kind of letting them do what they want, bully us around, like, and that's just not what we stand for. You know, we had to really turn around and lock in and do what we do. Like, defense is what we're good at, and I think when we start to focus on defense more than focus on offense, that's when the success starts to happen, and I think that's what we really focused on, and that's how the offense came. So I think just staying together defensively was very important for us.
Yeah, you got a big assist in that fourth quarter as well. You ended up with the ball off the offensive possession. You held on to it as long as you could, but you saw Bella breaking towards the basket. Did you just see her out of the peripheral vision?
I was like, somebody better come soon because I know they're about to call 5 seconds, but Bella's a great cutter. You know, that's no shocker from her. I'm just so glad I was able to deliver that pass and she was able to finish it. So.
Yeah, and then when you know you've got to get to the free throw line and knock them down or get the ball in the hands of Talia Scott, Baylor was able to do that, and you all had a fantastic fourth quarter from the free throw line.
Yeah, just really dialing in on the free throws. We shoot free throws every day. It's something Coach Tez really wants us to hone on to, and so just using what we've been working on, getting in the gym and stuff like that, and being able to translate to the game is super important.
All right, you're still here, and you get, we call it Paris Revisited, to play Duke. I know we'll let you enjoy this one, but are you looking forward to that game?
Absolutely. You know, it's just like how you start your season, and then now we're back right here in the same position. So it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a high-level game. You know, being here on their home court is going to make it more fun. You know, I hope fans come and show up and support. We know we're all super excited for this game.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
That is Kirsten Johnson visiting with Lori Fogelman after the game. KJ with 7 rebounds and a big assist. That assist came in the fourth quarter as Baylor mounted a comeback from 9 points down. 67-62, the final. This is the First Center Credit Union postgame show. We'll take our final timeout and then come back and get you ready for what's next. And what's next is a rematch with the team Baylor opened the season against the 8th-ranked Duke Blue Devils on their home floor, Cameron Indoor Stadium. We'll get you ready for that when we come back. Bears get it done today. 67-62, the final on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas. Every line, weld, and seal, shaped with the pride, heat, and strength that only Texas really knows. The Tundra's built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today. Toyota. Let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for details.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. No reputable company or government agency will ever ask you to pay them with gift cards, Bitcoin, or a person-to-person payment app. Scammers use these options because the money can't be traced. Just don't do it.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Have you been to the new location of Green Eye Associates yet? You'll still receive the same award-winning service and excellent care from Dr. Green and her dedicated optometrists and staff. But now conveniently located in Woodway right off of Highway 84. Come see the expanded optical showroom and be sure to ask about innovative services like IPL treatments for dry eye symptoms and the brand new sports vision technology. Green Eye Associates, the official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
It's all about surviving and advancing in the month of March, and Baylor both survived and advanced today. 67-62, the final, a hard-fought game against Nebraska today. Baylor, with a spirited fourth quarter, comes back from a 9-point deficit and gets the job done. 67-62, the final, and now the focus turns to the Duke Blue Devils. Lori, where were you? What were you doing on the day of November 3rd, 2025?
I think we were on a plane.
You and I were. Rumor has it we were in Paris for 24 hours,
for
but we know for a hot minute. Here's what we know. Baylor was in Paris on November 3rd. Baylor played Duke and began the season with a win over the nation's then number 7 team. Duke is the number 8 team in the nation, and now instead of in Paris, you get them on their home floor in Cameron Indoor Stadium. It's going to be a big challenge, and Baylor is going to have to play better than they did today to get the win and advance to the Sweet 16, but looking back at that game, that was a tie game headed into the fourth quarter. Talia Scott gave us a taste of things to come, scoring the first 6 points of the fourth quarter to snap a tie, and Baylor was able to hold on the rest of the way. That was that first glimpse we got of how good Baylor's defense would be over most of this season, and I hope we get another glimpse of that on Sunday, because that kind of defensive effort, again, Baylor did not play good offensively in the second and third quarter. It was not what you wanted.
Yeah.
But the defense was very good. The defense kept it close, kept Baylor within striking distance, and they were able to get it done in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, as we say that defense can cover a multitude of sins, and that can be when you're just not shooting the ball well. But Baylor was able to manufacture extra possessions because of that. So many times the possession arrow was in their favor on a tie ball. So you got extra possessions, and in the fourth quarter, Baylor finally was able to put the ball in the hole. And again, all different players were able to score in a variety of different ways. And then you got to the free throw line, and you were able to do some more separation at that time. That's the same way that the fourth quarter in Paris. That's where we were, right? We were in Paris.
Yes. For the We Play tournament,
yes.
OUI.
Yeah, in the Adidas Arena. But, you had Talia, as you were saying, scored those 6 straight points. You had Jana hit a big 3 on an assist from Bugs. And then from that moment on, Baylor was able to get Talia Scott to the free throw line, where she was 6 of 8. Baylor ended up winning that game by 6 points. Now, that being said, both teams are different teams than they were at the beginning of the year. Duke is, as Coach Nikki said, is what we always expected for them to be. They found their identity through the ACC and just nearly rolled through that conference.
Yeah.
But it'll be a great matchup. This place will be high energy on a Sunday afternoon. And I'm assuming we play Sunday afternoon. We haven't been given time yet.
Yeah, we don't know the time yet. I'll say this: Duke started off 3-6, then won 21 of their last 23 games en route to an ACC regular season and tournament title. But Baylor's got it done against them before, and they are going to try to do it again on Sunday. Time to be announced. But Lori, 25 years after we played here the first time, we finally got a win. Might as well make it 2 on Sunday.
You're right. It's nice to play a third game here and not have to wait another 25 years for an opportunity to come back to Cameron Indoor Stadium. And what fun tomorrow. This is the kind of game you want to play. I think Baylor and Duke will get a lot of attention as one of those great matchups here in that round of 32. And let's see, play the 40 minutes and let the chips fall where they may, and see if you can make it to another Sweet 16. That would certainly be sweet.
Well, I think around the end of the day we'll know what time that game will be on Sunday, but you can just stay tuned to Baylor women's basketball Twitter at BaylorWBB, or you can just text Colin Pirtle and just ask him every few minutes. You can do don't do that. Don't do that. But we'll later in the day. It'll be late today. Before we have that. But if you don't hear it today, just get up in the morning and check, and hopefully we'll have that news for you. But that's the news. There is another game to play. That is the headline.
That's right.
From here on out until it's not the headline anymore, and hopefully it remains the headline for a while.
That's right. Baylor survived and advanced, and that's what matters during March Madness, and that's what this is.
Well, Talia Scott scores 15 points to pace the Bears, hits a bucket and 2 big free throws, each to give Baylor a 2-possession lead inside of 30 seconds. Dariana Little-Page-Buggs picks up her 14th double-double of the year. Jana Van Geitenbeek, 12 points and 4 assists. Bella Fauntleroy with 10. Seniors stepped up in a big way. 67-62, the final in this one. Baylor knocks off Nebraska. Nebraska's season ends with a 19-13 record. Baylor improves to 25-8 and moves on. We want to say thanks to our producer back in Waco, Van Goodall. We appreciate your work and flexibility today, and looking forward to working again here soon. Speaking for him and Lori Fogelman, I am Derek Smith. Baylor moves on, 67-62, the final today. We will talk to you on Sunday. For now, from high atop Cameron Indoor Stadium, we say so long on the Baylor Sports Media Network.